Chapter 1933. A skinny youth behind Lu Shuangji said in a sharp tone, "Shut up. Can't beat him? Believe it or not, I can crush you to death with one finger. Come on. I think all of you are just a bunch of weak chickens." Ding Tianchun was also very angry. He had no idea why the upper realms had sent these people here, but they didn't help at all. Wang Xiaodong, go and teach him a lesson, Lu Shuangji said to the skinny young man behind him. Wang Xiaodong's finger suddenly shot out a strong force that turned into lightning and fiercely struck Ding Tianchun. The fire Qilin roared and stretched out an arm. It turned into a gigantic Qilin claw and blocked the powerful energy. Bang! The Qilin claw split open and blood spurted out as scales flew out. The Qilin claw was almost torn to shreds. The fire Qilin's body was also very strong, but now was actually injured by a casual finger. People from the upper realm were indeed very powerful. Ding Tianchun's expression was ugly. These people from the upper realms were very powerful, but they didn't want to make a move. "Did you see that?" Wang Xiaodong sneered. "If I wanted to kill you, it would be as easy as flipping my hand. If not for this fire Qilin, you would have been crippled even if you didn't die just now." Ding Zheng, who was beside Ding Tianchun, was so angry that he wanted to rush over, but he was stopped by the fire Qilin. Outside, the ancient ox devil was bitten by the red behemoth and howled in pain. "Lords from the upper realm, why aren't you doing anything? Dealing with that big thing is a piece of cake for you guys," Elderly said in a very low voice. He also did not want to see the ancient bull demon get killed, because his heaven-suppressing sect and the heaven old race were inseparable from each other. Lu Shuangji said coldly, "That huge red beast was created by the natural law divine realm, using a large amount of divine universe purple qi, and it also has a gigantic heavenly armor protecting its body. So what if they killed him? The energy of the giant beast and the heavenly armor will flow into the natural law divine realm to be reborn. And then there will be another thing like this. Then what should we do?" Elderly asked anxiously. The fire Qilin said in a cold voice, "Elderly, send us out. We will fight it out with that thing." Lu Shuangji sneered and said, "You guys are just sending yourselves to death if you go out. Moreover, I won't let you go out. I won't allow you to disturb that thing's meal." "What do you mean?" The fire Qilin roared. "The red beast is eating our boss. What's wrong with us going out to save him? What do you know? That old cow is stronger than the red beast. If it is eaten by the red beast will be able to fuse with the old cow and evolve even stronger. Then it will escape the control of the natural law divine realm." Wang Xiaodong said, "At that time, we will subdue this red beast that has escaped the control of the natural law divine realm. You can do whatever you want in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. You bunch of bastards." The fire Qilin could not suppress his anger and was just about to attack when he was held back by Elderly. Lu Shuangji said coldly, "Don't even think about leaving. This is a good opportunity for us to tame a giant beast. Although that old ox is dead, he made a great contribution. We will remember him." Ding Tianchun and the rest of the heaven old race people were so angry that they wanted to kill someone, but they were stopped by the elders of the heaven-suppressing sect. If they attacked Lu Shuangji and the others here, they would definitely be killed because Lu Shuangji and the others were very strong. Qin Yun and Yang Shuyu walked over and saw this scene. When Bai Zhe saw Qin Yun come over, it immediately cast a pleading look at him. Qin Yun nodded, indicating that he would help. However, he did not say a word. He also knew that Lu Shuangji and company from the upper realms were very strong. He must save the ancient ox devil. If it wasn't for the ancient ox devil, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to obtain a small nether sundae. Qin Yun secretly transmitted his voice to Elder Pang, asking him to lead him out of the secret passageway. Under such circumstances, the people of the upper realms must not know that someone went out to save the ancient ox devil. The people of the upper realms were indifferent to the life and death of the ancient ox devil. Moreover, they very much hoped that the ancient ox devil would be eaten so that the red behemoth could evolve and then subdue it for their use. Qin Yun going out to save Ancient Ox Devil will harm the interests of Lu Shuangji and others. If they knew about this, they would definitely clash with Qin Yun here. The most important thing right now was to save the Ancient Ox Devil. Elder Peng quietly left with Qin Yun and Yang Shirue. Qin Yun did not let Yang Shiryu go out. Instead, he went out alone. Yang Shiryu was not very worried about Qin Yun. Qin Yun's strength is very strong, comparable to the Ancient Ox Devil. The reason why the Ancient Ox Devil was able to defeat the Red Beast was because the Red Beast had a powerful heavenly armor protecting its body. As for Qin Yun, he had just researched a method to deal with the heavenly armor, so his chances of winning are extremely high. Qin Yun quietly left. The Azure Dragon also secretly transmitted his voice to the Fire Qilin and the others, telling them that Qin Yun had already left and telling them not to be impatient. After knowing that Qin Yun had taken action, Ding Tianshan, the Fire Qilin, and the others felt a lot more at ease. They were secretly grateful in their hearts. They also knew that at critical times, their own people were the most reliable. Lu Shuangji looked at the sky and said, "If we were to deal with that red beast now, we would consume a lot of power and a lot of powerful talisman tools. We lost so much just to save a cow. How is that possible? That cow can't be used by us." Wang Xiaodong said with a sneer, "When the red beast evolves, it will be able to escape the control of the heavenly law divine domain. Furthermore, the giant beast has the heavenly armor. A giant beast with a heavenly armor is very strong in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, much stronger than that old ox." The Fire Qilin snorted and said, "Just you wait. Why are you all suddenly so calm? Do you think that old ox can escape?" Wang Xiaodong deliberately provoked the Fire Qilin and the others and said with a sneer, "That old ox is dead for sure. Even if all of you go out, you won't be able to save him, because even if we were to make a move, we would need a lot of strength to get it. Get down that red beast. That's because you're too weak." The Azure Dragon snorted. He believed that Qin Yun could deal with the red beast. Even if he couldn't, he could still save the Ancient Ox Devil. The Ancient Ox Devil's body was tightly hugged by the red beast's thick arms. It was being bitten, and it was an unbearable pain. At this moment, Qin Yun suddenly appeared behind the red beast. Compared to the red beast's body, Qin Yun looked like a tiny bug. However, everyone could still see that it was Qin Yun. "Who is that guy? Is he going to deliver food?" Wang Xiaodong mocked. "What a reckless guy." Azure Dragon and the others are also somewhat worried. They are afraid that Qin Yun will be killed by the red beast, because in comparison, Qin Yun is simply too small. Elderly saw Qin Yun go out and remained silent. He secretly hoped that Qin Yun would be able to smoothly save the Ancient Ox Devil. Lu Shuangji and the others can also tell that Qin Yun is someone they know. Moreover, he seems to be very strong, because the Fire Qilin and Ding Tianshan are looking at Qin Yun with eyes filled with hope. "Do you know that person?" Lu Shuangji snorted and said, "Don't hold any hope. He is a weak person. He can't resist the powerful heavenly armor. Just wait and see." Ding Tianshan snorted. Qin Yun held the floating cloud staff in his hand. It suddenly flickered with golden light and became a lot bigger. The red beast is very focused on dealing with the Ancient Ox Devil. Even though it sensed someone behind it, it did not take it to heart, because it has the protection of the powerful heavenly armor. It is not afraid of anything. Qin Yun held the floating cloud staff and suddenly rushed out. The floating cloud staff vigorously stabbed towards the heavenly armor. Boom! When the floating cloud staff stabbed over, it exploded with a loud sound. What is shocking is that Qin Yun's powerful attack did not cause the heavenly armor to explode with lightning, nor did it rebound and attack Qin Yun. The disciples of the heaven-suppressing sect and the people of the ancient heaven clan immediately burst into cheers. Lu Shuangji, Wang Xiaodong, and the others who came from the upper realms were all moved and shocked. Boom! 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 Qin Yun used the gigantic floating cloud staff and quickly stabbed 7 times. Every time he stabbed, the floating cloud staff would explode with a very strong power and hit the holes in the runes on the heavenly armor. Only Qin Yun knew where the holes in the runes were, and only his powerful blood soul power combined with the absolute yang power could poke at the holes. Qin Yun's 7 consecutive strikes did not trigger the heavenly armor to explode with lightning. This was extremely shocking. That guy has some ability, but he still can't break through the heavenly armor. Wang Xiaodong sneered and said, "That old bull will die in the end." Just as he finished speaking, his expression suddenly changed. The golden heavenly armor on the red beast's body suddenly dimmed. The heavenly armor had lost its effectiveness. After the heavenly armor lost its effectiveness, the ancient ox devil was no longer attacked by the lightning and immediately broke free. "Old bull, get rid of this guy!" Qin Yun shouted. The ancient ox devil roared in anger and vigorously kicked the red beast flying. Then it crazily rushed over. The 2 gigantic horns on its head pierced the heavenly armor and pierced through the heavenly armor and the red beast's body. Both the red beast and the heavenly armor were pierced through. Within the heaven-suppressing sect, a burst of shocked cries came out. 2 huge holes appeared on the red beast's body. They were pierced by the bull's horns. The ancient ox devil's hands inserted into a huge bloody hole. After a furious roar, it erupted with a berserk beast power and forcibly tore the red beast's huge body apart. Crash! After the red beast was torn apart, a large amount of blood poured down like a waterfall and landed on the heaven-suppressing sect's barrier. Everyone was stunned when they saw the giant red beast being torn apart. They were shocked by the huge bloody scene. After a moment of silence, there was a burst of cheers and shouts. Bang! The ancient ox devil picked up the huge rod and randomly smashed the red beast's torn-apart body, smashing it into pieces to vent the anger in his heart. The yellow sand below had already formed a river of blood. Qin Yun used the extinction spirit eye to look at the yellow sand. He discovered that a large amount of divine universe purple qi was absorbed by the yellow sand and did not return to the heavenly Tao. The Cloud Dragon Mountain Range was absorbing the red beast. The fellows from the heavenly law divine realm are here. Let's go back quickly. Qin Yun suddenly shouted. The ancient ox devil's injuries were not light. If the powerful heavenly guards of the heavenly law divine realm came, it would not be easy to deal with them. After the ancient ox devil became small, it immediately followed Qin Yun and returned through the secret passage. Lu Shuangji and the others from the upper realms were all furious. Who is that bastard? He actually dares to ruin our plans, Wang Xiaodong said angrily. Chapter 1934. The people from the upper realms were very strong and also very arrogant. The people from the heaven-suppressing sect and the ancient heaven clan had already experienced it before. However, they never expected that they would attack so brazenly and directly attack the Azure Dragon, even severely injuring it. You guys are all as weak as ants, yet you dare to be so impudent in front of us. You truly don't know what's good for you. Wang Xiaodong's face was filled with sinister intent as he pushed out with his palm, sending the Azure Dragon flying. The Fire Qilin was immediately enraged. A burst of red flames erupted from its body, and fiery red scales appeared on its body. Its fiery aura surged as it charged towards Wang Xiaodong. Hey Shu, Bai Zhe, and the others went to take care of the Azure Dragon's injuries. Do you really want to fight us? Lu Shuangji shouted coldly. With a wave of his hand, the great sword on his back suddenly flew out. After the great sword flew out of its sheath, it surged with terrifying fluctuations. That sword actually had a very strong aura of the divine universe power. Everyone present was immediately sure that the sword had been refined with divine universe goldstone. These people from the upper realms might have come from the ancient desolate land. In a place like the ancient desolate land, even though there weren't many divine universe golden stones, there were still some. Weapons refined from divine universe golden stone were indeed terrifying. Lu Shuangji's greatsword flew out, accompanied by a burst of pressure. The power of the divine universe golden stone, through the inscriptions on the greatsword, erupted with an even stronger power. It enveloped the Fire Qilin, causing it to vomit blood and fall to the ground. What are you doing? Elderly hurriedly stepped forward and released a large shield to block the terrifying sword might. Otherwise, the fire Qilin would definitely be severely injured. From today onwards, the heaven-suppressing sect will be managed by us. Lu Shuangji shouted coldly. You bastards, you ruined our plans, and you still want to fight against us? Wang Xiaodong sneered. If you have the guts, then attack us together. Although we only have a dozen or so people, it's more than enough to exterminate you all. Because they had seen the power of Lu Shuangji's greatsword and the power that Wang Xiaodong had unleashed, everyone knew that this group of people from the upper realms had the qualifications to be arrogant. You don't have the authority to do this, unless the sect leader of the heaven-suppressing sect gives the order. Elderly was also filled with anger, and said, Don't go too far. Lu Shuangji's eyes were filled with contempt as he swept his gaze across the group of people from heaven-suppressing sect and heaven old race, and mocked. With your strength, you still want to lead the heaven-suppressing sect? You want the sect leader to pass down the order. Are you worthy? The large sword on Wang Xiaodong's back was also suddenly unsheathed. It was actually a powerful divine weapon mixed with divine universe goldstone. Both of you kneel down and greet the new sect leader of heaven-suppressing sect. Here, Big Brother Lu is the leader. Wang Xiaodong pointed his sword at Elderly and said coldly, Elderly, kneel first. The elders of the heaven-suppressing sect were furious, but they were no match for these people from the upper realm. Not to mention Lu Shuangji, even a lackey like Wang Xiaodong was very strong. The Azure Dragon was not weak, but its body was pierced through by Wang Xiaodong's punch. It could be seen how strong Wang Xiaodong was. Furthermore, there were more than a dozen strong people from the upper realms. The sword on their backs seemed to have been refined with some divine universe goldstone. If the entire heaven-suppressing sect joined hands, even if they could take down this group of people from the upper realms, they would definitely suffer heavy casualties. Give them the heaven-suppressing sect. Let's go. Yang Shiryu suddenly said because the divine mountain of inscription and Heaven City were about to arrive. At that time, everyone would be able to move to Heaven City. Wang Xiaodong looked at Yang Shiryu. Just now, these people from the upper realms had already noticed the peerlessly beautiful Yang Shiryu. Yang Shiryu's face was filled with frost, and her entire body exuded a cold and arrogant aura. Seeing this kind of aloof and cold woman, even Wang Xiaodong had a crooked thought. Woman, just obediently stay on the bed. There's no room for you to speak here. Wang Xiaodong laughed coldly. Tonight, accompany our sect leader Lu, or you will die. Hey Shu, Bai Zai, and the others immediately looked at Wang Xiaodong, as if they were looking at a dead person. They were very clear about the relationship between Yang Shiryu and Qin Yin. They also knew how powerful Yang Shiryu was. Even if Yang Shiryu could not kill Wang Xiaodong, Qin Yin would still kill him. Yang Shiryu's expression became even colder. Her eyebrows slightly knitted and killing intent appeared in her beautiful eyes. Miss Yang, we will listen to you. We will leave the heaven-suppressing sect. Elderly was also worried that something would happen to Yang Shiryu and quickly said, Old man, you want to leave? Kneel down. Wang Xiaodong roared angrily and rushed over. He fiercely kicked Elder Li's knee, directly shattering it. Then, he chopped down on Elder Li's shoulder. With a bang, Elder Li knelt on the ground and let out a painful cry. Elderly. When the group of people saw Elderly being attacked, they all shouted in alarm and anger. Wang Xiaodong looked at Yang Shiryu and said with a sinister smile, Woman, from now on, you are sect leader Lu's person. Quickly take off your clothes and let sect leader Lu inspect them. A silver saber suddenly appeared in Yang Shiryu's hand and said coldly, So what if you're from the upper realms? Do you really think that you are invincible? In this broken place, we are indeed invincible. In our eyes, you're just a group of ants from the lower realms who are struggling at death's door. You will only be manipulated by the heavenly Tao, and we are people who have transcended the heavenly Tao. It's your luck to be able to see the noble us. Wang Xiaodong sneered. What? Do you still want to fight me? Yang Shiryu was also infuriated, but she was still very calm. Wang Xiaodong laughed out loud and said, Woman, You are only suitable to fight in bed. Yang Shiryu suddenly flashed and arrived beside Wang Xiaodong. The silver saber in her hand chopped down, and a ferocious vibration power followed the saber. The smile on Wang Xiaodong's face suddenly disappeared as he hurriedly brandished his sword to block. The silver saber in Yang Shiryu's hand chopped down on Wang Xiaodong's greatsword. The shockwave exploded with a loud explosion. Wang Xiaodong was forced back a few steps while Yang Shiryu was sent flying. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of her mouth. Lu Shuangji hurriedly said, "Wang Xiaodong, that woman is very strong. Don't injure her too heavily. I want her to be in good condition. Also, be careful. If you don't have the Divine Universe Sword, you will definitely be killed by her." Everyone could see that the strength of this group of people from the upper realms also has a limit. Their strongest point is still the Divine Universe Sword. The reason why they carry the Divine Universe Sword on their backs is to borrow its power. Everyone immediately understood that this group of people from the upper realms can control the power of the Divine Universe Sword very well. Yang Shiryu secretly gritted her teeth. If she had a strong enough weapon to fight against the Divine Universe Sword, she would definitely be able to kill the other party in a few moves. She cultivated in the moon and also has the nether moon. Her strength is sufficiently strong, and her martial skills are also extremely outstanding. In terms of strength, she is stronger than Wang Xiaodong. She only lost in terms of weapon. Wang Xiaodong said with a smile, "Secmaster Lu, don't worry. I will take her down." After saying that, Wang Xiaodong's body transformed into a golden afterimage. He suddenly flashed and stabbed at Yang Shiryu. When the Divine Universe Sword stabbed over, its aura surged violently like a monstrous wave, enveloping Yang Shiryu. Yang Shiryu, who was unable to move, the ground around her suddenly cracked and shook again and again. Seeing this, Black Rat by Zay, Fire Dragon, Water Dragon, Fire Qilin, and other powerful people immediately rushed over. They condensed a very strong power and dispersed the sword aura. However, they were also sent flying by the sword aura, and their injuries are not light. Although Yang Shiryu was not hit by the sword, she was still injured. Her body was attacked by the aura, and the pain caused her groan. Not bad. Much stronger than I imagined. Lu Shuangji's eyes are filled with fanaticism as he looked at Yang Shiryu, filled with interest. Wang Xiaodong looked at the group of inscription beasts that were sent flying and said with a disdainful smile, "Wait for me to take down this woman, then I'll take care of you." Wang Xiaodong attacked again. The Divine Universe Sword's might is extremely terrifying. The Divine Universe power it released is berserk and filled with penetrating power. The aura that burst out is very heavy, making it difficult for people to move. Yang Shiryu was once again enveloped by the sword aura. Just as she was about to go all out and release the nether moon, suddenly a white light shot towards Wang Xiaodong. Qin Yin has arrived. He used the light transformation sacred pupil and rushed towards Wang Xiaodong. At the same time, the floating cloud staff in his hand is also filled with berserk power. When he returned from the secret passage, he immediately rushed here. On the way, he also heard Wang Xiaodong's malicious words towards Yang Shiryu. In his anger, he activated all the terrifying power in his body and activated the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation inside the floating cloud staff. The nine-dragon heavenly origin formation crazily absorbed the power of the Divine Universe Golden Stone and surged out the power of the nine-dragon Divine Universe. The floating cloud staff gathered many types of berserk power and exploded out, attacking Wang Xiaodong. When the staff smashed towards Wang Xiaodong, it suddenly turned into a large golden saber. The Nether Soul's sacred blade's power also exploded out and fiercely attacked Wang Xiaodong's soul. Wang Xiaodong immediately felt endless fear. He felt that death was imminent. He never expected that there would be such a powerful person in the lower realms. He is indeed worthy of being an expert from the upper realms. Even though his soul has been attacked and his body has been suppressed by the fierce and arrogant might to the point of being unable to move, he can still use all his strength to block the divine universe sword above his head and use it to defend. Boom! The floating cloud staff, which is transformed into a large saber, chopped down on the divine universe sword. At the same time, the divine universe sword exploded and turned into a wave of energy that surged in all directions. What is shocking is that Wang Xiaodong's body was directly torn into glowing powder by the berserk power. Along with the wave of energy that surged in all directions, he disappeared without a trace. The experts from the upper realms suppressed the ancient Heaven clan and the heaven-suppressing sect to the point that they couldn't even breathe. The divine universe sword they used was extremely ferocious. But now, it was suddenly killed by Qin Yun, who appeared out of nowhere. The people from the upper realms are furious and also extremely shocked because they have an indescribable fear in their hearts. Lu Shuangji's expression slightly changed. He looked at Qin Yun and said in a deep voice, "Very strong divine universe power. How many divine universe golden stones do you have?" "What does it have to do with you how many divine universe golden stones I have? You will soon become a dead man, so what's the use of knowing?" Qin Yun stood in front of Yang Shiryu and coldly looked at Lu Shuangji. With Qin Yun's return, the people from the heaven-suppressing sect and the ancient Heaven clan felt much more at ease. Seeing the Azure Dragon and the others injured, the anger in his heart became even more intense as he glared at the people from the upper realms. "You kill my people. You do have some ability, but that's all you are. In front of me, you're no different from the other weak creatures of the lower realms." Lu Shuangji's tone was arrogant. As he spoke, a set of golden armor appeared on his body. Heavenly armor. Chapter 1935. Lu Shuangji knows that Qin Yun is very strong, but he is still fearless. The other 19 youths from the upper realm all walked behind Lu Shuangji. It looked like they wanted to attack together, but Lu Shuangji stopped them. Lu Shuangji was so arrogant. When he saw an expert like Qin Yun, he could tell that the relationship between Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu was not shallow. Therefore, he wanted to personally defeat Qin Yun and take Yang Shiryu for himself. In order to display his strength, Lu Shuangji wants to face Qin Yun alone. When Qin Yun saw Lu Shuangji's heavenly armor, he thought nothing of it. He had grasped the dermic formulation to break heavenly armor. In front of him, heavenly armor could not withstand a single blow. Lu Shuangji gripped the divine universe sword and said with a gloomy expression, "You did have some ability to destroy that red beast's heavenly armor. But I'm not a red monster. I'm not that easy to deal with." Everyone dispersed. The injuries of the injured Fire Qilin, Elder Li, and Azure Dragon have also been healed. At this moment, they only hope that Qin Yun can kill all these arrogant fellows from the upper realm. "Are you that confident?" Qin Yun held the floating cloud staff and secretly gathered power. "That rod of yours should have also been mixed with divine universe goldstone, right? And there are quite a few of them." Lu Shuangji looked at the floating cloud staff in Qin Yun's hand and said in a mocking tone, "It looks powerful, but it is just a broken staff. I can cut it in half with one sword strike. Your weapon is useless against my godly armor." "It's useless. Come and attack," Qin Yun said. He wanted to see how strong Lu Shuangji was for him to put on such an arrogant and invincible attitude. Lu Shuangji suddenly laughed and said, "You want me to make the first move? Come." Qin Yun's floating cloud staff is not some divine universe divine weapon. Instead, it has a 9 dragons heavenly origin formation inside it. After absorbing the energy of 9 divine universe goldstones, it can release a very strong 9 dragons divine universe power. Although I don't know who you are, you don't look weak. Wang Xiaodong was killed by you, and it just so happens that I lack a capable subordinate. Lu Shuangji said slowly, "How about this? You take Wang Xiaodong's place and give that beauty to me. This way, you don't have to be my enemy." "Dead." Qin Yun frowned and said in a deep voice, "How about this? I will kill you and let you accompany that Wang Xiaodong. Let him continue to be your dog." "Arrogant and conceited fellow. You think you can kill me?" Lu Shuangji berated angrily as the divine cosmos, sword in his hand, shook, and a divine cosmos chi wave surged out. The entire heaven-suppressing gate was shaking. Because of this, Lu Shuangji's current aura was extremely powerful, causing the surrounding people to be filled with fear. This is Big Brother Lu's strength. We are from the upper realms. You people from the lower realms have no idea how strong we are. You can't even begin to imagine our strength. One of the people from the upper realms behind Lu Shuangji said proudly. Lu Shuangji's golden armor flowed with the power of the divine universe. Anyone could see that Lu Shuangji's current strength was completely reliant on the divine universe sword and the golden armor. This group of people from the higher realms could grasp the power of the divine universe. They could use divine universe metal to refine weapons and armor. So they were indeed very powerful. Otherwise, they would at most be at the peak of the immortal Emperor realm. Without relying on equipment, the Fire Qilin would be able to beat them up. I gave you a chance, but you didn't know how to cherish it. You just had to court death. You can't blame me for this. Lu Shuangji sneered. His figure suddenly flickered and appeared behind Qin Yun. He thrust his sword at Qin Yun's body. At the same time, the floor tiles around Qin Yun exploded. The sword aura was terrifying to the extreme. It was as if it could pierce through Qin Yun's body and tear him to shreds. The sword pierced through Qin Yun's body, but that was only Qin Yun's phantom image. The real Qin Yun had already arrived behind Lu Shuangji. He did not approach Lu Shuangji. Instead, he maintained a distance from Lu Shuangji. Just now, he had a rough understanding of Lu Shuangji's strength. It was indeed very terrifying. The main reason was the power of the divine universe sword. Lu Shuangji was inwardly furious. He did not expect Qin Yun to be so powerful that he could dodge his sword. With the power of Lu Shuangji's attack, just now, it was enough to freeze many people, causing them to be unable to move. But Qin Yun was fine. He was still very agile and easily dodging. This is mainly because Qin Yun has a powerful body. Moreover, it was cultivated through the divine universe, purple energy. Lu Shuangji's divine universe sword only has divine universe power. It is not as powerful as the divine universe, purple energy. Qin Yun flashed behind Lu Shuangji, took out a few throwing knives, and threw them. It is the suppression sacred talisman tool. What a ridiculous hidden weapon. Lu Shuangji sneered. An energy wall suddenly appeared in front of him and blocked the 3 throwing knives. However, 2 of the throwing knives went around and flew behind Lu Shuangji. Boom! When the throwing knives passed by, they suddenly exploded, and the power also attacked Lu Shuangji's body. Sacred Talisman Tool? This kind of Sacred Talisman Tool's power is truly pitifully weak. Just as Lu Shuangji finished speaking, everyone saw that the heavenly armor on his body suddenly lost its luster. Lu Shuangji's heavenly armor lost its effectiveness. His expression changed greatly. The moment the heavenly armor lost its effectiveness, Qin Yun and Ling Yun was suddenly released supergravity. Ling Yun just obtained a small nether sun and is still adapting to it. However, she is able to let the small nether sun unleash a lot of power. The power of 2 nether suns fused together, and the supergravity fiercely pressed down. Lu Shuangji just took a few steps and was forced to kneel on the ground by the sudden and ferocious gravity. His knees directly shattered the floor tiles. "Oh!" Lu Shuangji shouted in fear. "Quickly save me." Other higher realm people can see that Lu Shuangji is no match for Qin Yun and is about to be killed. They all took action one after another. Qin Yun rushed over. The floating cloud staff in his hand suddenly lengthened and swept towards the group of people from the upper realms. The floating cloud rod swept across, filled with explosive and berserk might. Flame violently surged like ocean waves. 9 dragon divine universe power roared out. The rod turned into a sharp blade. After those higher realm people entered the gravity domain, their bodies became extremely slow. They looked at the incomparably formidable sharp blade sweeping over and screamed in fear and despair. Along with miserable screams, those 19 higher realm people's bodies were cut in half by the floating cloud rod. They didn't even have time to use their divine universe sword before their bodies were cut into two and their souls were devoured by the nether soul's sacred blade. Lu Shuangji, who was kneeling on the ground, vomited a mouthful of blood. His eyes are wide open as he looked at those higher realm people whose bodies had been cut into pieces with fear. You can't kill me. Lu Shuangji screamed in fear. Bang! After the floating cloud rod turned back into a normal rod, it vigorously smashed towards Lu Shuangji's cheek, causing his cheek to split open and his facial bones to explode. Lu Shuangji was suppressed by the supergravity. He should have been sent flying. But now he was only hit to the side. The power he endured is even stronger, and the pain is even more intense. Qin Yun flashed behind Lu Shuangji and stabbed the heavenly armor 7 times to prevent it from recovering. Not far away, Yang Shuriwei wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. She flew over with a silver saber in hand and chopped at Lu Shuangji's hand. Lu Shuangji's hand, holding the divine universe sword, was chopped off by Yang Shuriwei. He once again let out a miserable scream. The people from the ancient Heaven clan and the heaven-suppressing sect watched from afar with fear and trepidation. At the same time, they were also feeling extremely carefree. Just a moment ago, Lu Shuangji was so arrogant that everyone wanted nothing more than to tear him to pieces. Lu Shuangji was the only one left from the upper realms, and he was being beaten up by Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei in turn. Lu Shuangji had underestimated Qin Yun's strength. He never expected that there would be someone in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range who could break the heavenly armor so skillfully. Even in the upper realms, it was extremely difficult to completely disable the heavenly armor. Only those experts could do it. Not only had Qin Yun easily broken through the huge red beast's heavenly armor, he had also easily done it with a few throwing knives. Lu Shuangji had originally thought that with the heavenly armor, as long as he didn't let Qin Yun get close and protected the heavenly armor, he wouldn't lose to Qin Yun. However, he had still miscalculated. With your level, you dare to be arrogant here. Qin Yun stepped on Lu Shuangji's face. Lu Shuangji had already been beaten back and forth by Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei. If not for his heavenly armor being pretty good, it would have been shattered long ago. I am from the upper realms. You lowly bastard from the lower realms. Hurry up and let me go. Otherwise, if the upper realms pursue this matter, you will all have a good time. Lu Shuangji said angrily. Go to hell. The floating cloud rod in Qin Yun's hand struck down at Lu Shuangji. Flames burst out. The power of the divine universe was incomparably strong, its might vast and mighty, directly smashing Lu Shuangji's head into pieces. Lu Shuangji had been killed. Everyone cheered happily. Qin Yun also quickly took off the heavenly armor from Lu Shuangji's body. The heavenly armor was something from the heavenly law divine realm, and it was very strong. For Lu Shuangji to have such a thing, he must have used some secret technique to obtain it from the heavenly law divine realm. These divine universe swords are very strong. Elder Pang picked up the divine universe swords. There were a total of 19 of them. Adding the one in Qin Yun's hand, there were 20 of them. Qin Yun did not take all of them. He only took 10 and gave 5 to the ancient heaven race and the heaven-suppressing sect. The divine universe sword was very strong, but Qin Yun's floating cloud rod was even stronger. His previous strike had shattered Wang Xiaodong's divine universe sword. Qin Yun wanted the divine universe sword mainly for research. He wanted to see how the upper realms used the power of the divine universe to refine artifacts. Everyone, let's heal first. Everyone is heavily injured. Qin Yun said, if the fellows from the heavenly law divine realm come again, I'll block them. On the ancient heaven race's side, the ancient ox devil and the fire Qilin were injured, and the azure dragon's injuries were not light either. Fortunately, they all had a strong recovery ability and could recover after resting for a while. On the heaven-suppressing sect side, Elder Li and the other 2 or 3 elders were also injured and needed to rest. At this moment, the ancient ox devil and Elder Li were extremely grateful to Qin Yun. Not only did Qin Yun go out to help the ancient ox devil kill the red behemoth, After returning, he also killed those evil people from the upper realms. Chapter 1936. Everyone could tell that the people of the upper realms did not place the ancient heaven race and the heaven-suppressing sect in their eyes at all. Furthermore, in the eyes of the people of the upper realms, the living beings of the lower realms were of no importance. Especially at the beginning, they actually wanted the ancient bull demon to die and didn't allow others to save the ancient bull demon. Later on, they became even more excessive and even injured many people from the ancient heaven race and the heaven-suppressing sect. How the hell did I know they would do this? Elderly sighed. It's a good thing that sect leader Chin is here. We don't plan on contacting the upper realms anymore. The people they sent down are too chilling. That's right, if not for some equipment, they would be about the same as us. The ancient bull demon patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said with a smile, "They're not as powerful as sect leader Qin. He killed them in a few moves. What's the use of having them? Everyone, go and rest. The huge beasts sent by the heavenly law divine realm have been killed. They shouldn't be sending any more for a short period of time." Qin Yun said. From time to time, a small group of people from the heavenly law divine realm would fly past the barrier. Most of the people from the heavenly law divine realm were hiding in the clouds around them. Their main goal was naturally to get rid of this floating city. However, they already knew that this floating city was very strong. It wouldn't be easy to destroy it. Therefore, they changed their goal. They wanted to trap the people here and prevent them from going to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range to explore the Heaven Burial Tomb. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu returned to the wooden building. He touched Yang Shiryu's face with a pained expression and said, "It's all my fault for coming back late and letting you be bullied." Yang Shiryu laughed. "Xiao Yun, I'm fine. It's just a small injury." She hugged Qin Yun and kissed him on the cheek. "Big sister Yang, just leave one Divine Universe sword for me. I'll give a rest to you." Qin Yun said, "With the Divine Universe sword, I won't be afraid of encountering this kind of guy in the future. All right, it's a good thing that I'm more comfortable with swords and sabers." Yang Shiryu nodded. "That divine armor holy talisman weapon is really useful." Qin Yun chuckled and said, "Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get rid of that Lu Shuangji so easily." Yang Shiryu held the Divine Universe sword in her hand and carefully studied it as well. She said, "This sheath can conceal the fluctuations of the Divine Universe golden stone. Indeed, it seems like the Divine Universe sword is very important to them." Qin Yun said with a smile, "These guys are relying on this weapon to be so arrogant. To be honest, the weapons they use are really powerful." Yang Shiryu smiled sweetly and said, "But they met Little Cloud, so they died miserably." Qin Yun also took out a Divine Universe sword, carefully looked at it, and said, "They didn't put a lot of Divine Universe golden rocks in it." Sister Karu said that the Divine Universe golden stones are very small, and one of them is already very heavy. It's impossible for them to have mixed in one, right? Yang Shiryu held the sword hilt and said, "This sword is not very heavy. Some materials can offset the weight." Qin Yun said, "Xiao Yun, can you roughly tell how many Divine Universe golden stones were used to refine it?" Yang Shiryu asked curiously, "Can we also use Divine Universe golden stones to refine armor or something?" Qin Yun nodded and said, "That's for sure. However, the Divine Universe metal stone is very sturdy. Want to grind off some powder is still very difficult." He carefully looked at the Divine Universe sword in his hand and said, "My guess is that only a little bit of Divine Universe golden stone powder was added. A rice grain-sized Divine Universe golden stone divided into 100 parts can be used to make this kind of Divine Universe sword." "So you're saying it's not that strong?" Yang Shiryu said, "The strength is very poor. It was broken by your stick." Qin Yun kissed Yang Shiryu's face and said with a smile, "Sister Yang, my stick can stab Xie Yang. This Divine Universe sword is very good. Even if it goes to Sacred Desolate, it will be a very strong weapon. That's enough to use for a long time." Yang Shiryu smiled sweetly and suddenly hugged Qin Yun. The two of them sweetly kissed for a while. After they finished, they tightly hugged each other and sat on a very big chair. Yang Shiryu leaned on Qin Yun's bosom and closed her eyes to rest. Qin Yun embraced the soft and fragrant beauty and gently caressed her lily-white hands. He is also thinking about how to grind off some powder from the Divine Universe Golden Stone, because he saw the Divine Universe sword refined from Divine Universe Golden Stone today. Qin Yun was inspired and wanted to use it to refine something. Qin Yun does not lack Divine Universe Golden Stone at all. He has half a chest of this kind of thing, but he doesn't know what to do with it. His current cultivation has already reached peak Immortal Emperor realm. If he continues to break through, he will go to Sacred Desolate. The current him can't go to Sacred Desolate yet, because there are still very important things to do here. Qin Yun thought for a while. Seeing Yang Shiryu sleeping very beautifully, he can't help but kiss her face. He enjoys this kind of moment very much. In the illusory space, Ling Yun constantly instigated Qin Yun to do some bold things. Ling Yun always has a lot of bold ideas. She clearly knows that Qin Yun won't do it, but she always encourages Qin Yun. Qin Yun hugged the beauty and held her lily-white hands, enjoying the fragrant beauty's gentleness. His thoughts suddenly drifted. Unknowingly, he suddenly heard a voice calling out softly. Qin Yun suddenly opened his eyes. There's a very strange feeling in his mind. That feeling is very strong. It wants to guide him to a certain place. Qin Yun leaned close to Yang Shiryu's ear and whispered, "Sister Yang, I'm going out for a while. Stay here and wait for me." Although Yang Shiryu is sleeping and resting, her consciousness is very clear. She can hear Qin Yun's words and feel everything that happened. "I want to follow you," Yang Shiryu said softly. She slightly opened her beautiful eyes and smiled at Qin Yun. Her extremely flirtatious appearance made Qin Yun unable to help but kiss her. "All right." Qin Yun let her enter the Nine-Sun Divine Spirit to rest, and he immediately walked out of the wooden building. Qin Yun originally thought that he would have to leave the heaven-suppressing gate, but after he went out, he realized that there was no need, because that strange and clear feeling told him that the power calling him was within the heaven-suppressing gate. Behind this small garden, there's a small forest with some fruit trees planted. Qin Yun entered the forest and felt that the power is becoming clearer and clearer. Suddenly, he saw a faint white mist float over. After the white mist came over, it gradually formed the shape of a dragon. The white mist transformed into a dragon. This made Qin Yun think of something. Cloud Dragon, the mysterious ruler of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Cloud Dragon, you are Yinlong? Qin Yun asked. "Hello," Yinlong said. From his voice, he sounded like a very benevolent old man. "What's the situation in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range now?" Qin Yun was secretly delighted as he hurriedly asked. Now, he finally understood why meeting Yinlong depended on fate. Just now, Yinlong had suddenly called out to him. The Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is like a child that longs to grow up, but is being interfered with. However, the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is still able to tenaciously grow up and then escape the control of its parents. Yinlong laughed. "Senior Yinlong, then why do you want to see me?" Qin Yun asked again. "Because you might interfere with the growth of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, and you are very strong and very interesting. I don't want to have a conflict with you." Yinlong said. "Previously, you used a large number of heavenly guards to grow, right?" Qin Yun asked. He remembered that the group of heavenly guards had committed suicide crazily before being devoured and turned into yellow sand. The Cloud Dragon Mountain Range had now completely swallowed the sea. Yinlong said, "If you want to grow quickly, you have to pay the price." Qin Yun said with a frown, "What price did you pay? What exchange did you make with the heavenly law divine realm?" "I promised them to release the restrictions of space." Yinlong said, "This way, they will send more heavenly guards over. Of course, if those heavenly guards die here, it will be very beneficial to me. After a person died, their energy would return to the heavenly Tao. The gods of the divine wasteland used this point to make people sacrifice themselves. This way, they could obtain the power that a person would return to after death and become stronger." Yinlong's current situation was the same. "Does the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range have any restrictions on cultivation?" Qin Yun asked. is the strongest only at the 9th level of the immortal Emperor realm. For now, yes. However, if I grow up enough, I will allow living beings to cultivate even stronger. Yinlong said, let's put it this way. If the Cloud Dragon Mountain range has a large number of saint-level life forms, the energy that these saint-level life forms absorb comes from the heavenly Tao. The power of a saint-level life form will be absorbed by me. I will absorb it. Qinyan nodded and said, this way, you will be able to absorb even more powerful energy. I can use this to evolve and become stronger. Yinlong said with a smile, you are a sensible person. I don't wish to be enemies with you. If I were to be your enemy, how would you deal with me? Qinyan said with a smile, to be honest, I really want to challenge your might. Yinlong chuckled and said, you are truly an enemy of the heavenly Tao. I haven't even become the heavens of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, and you already want to be my enemy. Qinyan said, how do you know that I am an enemy of the heavenly Tao? From the moment you obtained the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron, I knew. It's just that I didn't expect you to live for so long. Yinlong said, it's not easy for a guy like you to live until now. Qinyan obtained the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron from the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Senior Yinlong, what should I do so that I won't offend you? Qinyan suddenly asked very seriously. Don't fall into the hands of the divine universe, evil dragon. Yinlong also replied very seriously. If you fall into his hands, he will become even stronger. At that time, no one will be able to suppress him. Qinyan said with a frown, Senior, are you also unable to suppress him? Yinlong sighed and said, no, I can only deal with you at most. I have too many restrictions. I can't directly kill the powerful creatures of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. If the divine universe evil dragon becomes stronger, can it threaten you? Qinyan doesn't understand. If the divine universe evil dragon is strong enough, then he will devour all the living beings here. He will devour everything here. What do you think? Yinlong said, if you kill me, you won't have such worries, right? Qinyan also understands the purpose of Yinlong's visit. Yes. However, I don't have the confidence to kill you. Yinlong said, don't worry. I will kill the divine universe evil dragon. Qinyan smiled and said, also, I will think of a way to send more people from the heavenly law divine realm to their deaths. Chapter 1937. Qinyan's eyes lit up as he said with a smile, since that's the case, I won't disappoint you. Qinyan, you must remember, don't fall into the mouth of the divine universe evil dragon. Don't be eaten by him. Otherwise, when the time comes, I can only kill you in advance. Yinlong said very seriously. Don't worry, I'm not that weak. Qinyan said with a smile. The Heaven Burial Mausoleum has already appeared. It's in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. When are you going to search for it? Yinlong asked. When it came to the Heaven Burial Mausoleum, Qinyan also had many doubts. Senior, do you know where the main Heaven Burial Mausoleum is? Qinyan asked. That main Heaven Burial Mausoleum should be hiding a lot of important things. Yinlong shook his head. I don't know. Although the Heaven Burial Mausoleum appeared in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, and there are large and small mausoleums, I don't know which one is the main one. Even Yinlong didn't know where the main heavenly tomb was. Qinyan suddenly felt a lot more at ease. He was previously worried that Yinlong would tell the heavenly guards of the heavenly tomb's location. Those Heaven Burial Mausoleums are all in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Senior, how much do you know about them? Qinyan wanted to know more about them in advance. There are many powerful creatures or souls sealed in the Heaven Burial Mausoleum, as well as some very powerful items. Yinlong said, as for why I want to seal them, I'm not too sure yet. In short, some of them were buried with me, and some of them were sealed later on. Yinlong was actually not clear about this. You previously promised the heavenly law divine realm to open up the space in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. What's going on? Previously, when I just arrived at the Cloud Dragon Mountain range, the space here was suddenly reinforced. Senior, did you do it? Qinyan asked. If not for the space in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range suddenly being reinforced, Qin Yun would not have been in so much trouble. His heaven-leaping shuttle could travel through space very quickly. Furthermore, the Divine Inscription Mountain could also teleport quickly. If the space here was opened, the Divine Inscription Mountain would be able to arrive here very quickly. Next, he and Xie Karu would be able to find the main heavenly mausoleum. Yes, it was indeed me who reinforced the space before. Yun Long said, I also sensed that many people were traveling through space, so I reinforced it in advance. Why? Will this affect you? Qin Yun doubtfully said, We won't even be able to return to Immortal Desolate. I'm not sure if it will affect me. For safety's sake, I'll temporarily seal the space. Yin Long said, Even if I open up space now, you won't be able to easily travel through space. Qin Yun was even more puzzled. He curled his lips and said, Could it be that only the fellows from the natural law divine realm can freely travel through space? Of course not. Those guys have very strong spatial treasures, so it's more convenient for them. Yun Long said, If you have spatial Xian ants, you can be like them and freely travel through space in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Really? Why can spatial Xian ants do it? Qin Yun said in surprise. Because my Cloud Dragon Mountain range's main spatial operation comes from the spatial Xian ant's nest. The spatial Xian ant roams in the dark space and is responsible for repairing many spatial holes. The specific situation is complicated. In short, if you can control the spatial Xian ant, you can easily travel through space. Yin Long said. Qin Yun said, Senior, I caught 2 spatial Xian ants before. I can also travel through space, but the consumption is huge. Yin Long was somewhat alarmed and hurriedly asked, When did you catch them? Not long ago. Qin Yun said with a frown. Is there a problem? Not long ago. Yin Long suddenly lowered his voice and said, If it's really not long ago, then you've earned big. What do you mean? Qin Yun was alarmed. He felt that the spatial Xian ants absorbed by Yangshi used 2 moon elves were definitely not simple. Because not long ago, there was a problem with the dark space, and a large number of spatial Xian ants were trapped. Later on, the group of spatial Xian ants devoured each other, and in the end, there were only 2 left. Yin Long chuckled and said, The whereabouts of these 2 spatial Xian ants are unknown. Qin Yun knew this as well. After the moon elves devoured the 2 spatial Xian ants, Yangshi Yu told him about it. Are those 2 spatial Xian ants very powerful? Qin Yun asked hurriedly. Very powerful. You have the chance to become an ant queen. As for the specifics, it will depend on how well you take care of the spatial Xian ants. Yin Long laughed. Kid, you have to be careful. If you're discovered by the ant colony in the dark space, it will be quite troublesome. Qin Yun said with a happy smile. Senior, what will happen if those 2 spatial Xian ants become queen ants? I don't know. In short, it's a good thing. Yin Long laughed and said, Brat, you've earned big. Even I am a little envious of you. The spatial Xian ants were with Yangshi Yu, and they had even fused with the moon elves. It was hard to say how they would grow in the future. Senior, I am cooperating with you now. If you want more corpses of the heavenly guards, you have to give me some useful information, right? Qin Yun said. The heavenly guards are all from the heavenly law divine realm, and were born from a creation pool. Those heavenly guards who committed suicide before were all trash heavenly guards. These trash heavenly guards were created by consuming very little divine, universe, purple chi. Yin Long said, The most powerful heavenly guards are those heavenly armor guards. They have very powerful heavenly armor. Qin Yun nodded. I've seen these heavenly armor guards before, and I've even killed quite a few of them. Yin Long laughed. You seem to have found a way to break through the heavenly armor. This is indeed very powerful. If the heavenly armor guards die, there will be a lot of heavenly energy. Is the heavenly energy useful to you? Qin Yun asked. Of course. However, a large amount of divine universe purple chi is still better. Yin Long said, If you go out to fight against the heavenly guards of the heavenly law divine realm, they will see that you are very powerful and send even more heavenly guards to kill you. As long as a large number of heavenly guards come over, once they die, They will become nutrients for the Cloud Dragon mountain range, right? Qin Yun asked. Then wouldn't I have to kill a lot of them? There's no need for you to kill them. I have a way to kill a large number of heavenly guards. Yin Long laughed sinisterly. It's not that I have to do it. In short, I have a way. All right. Did you create that dragon forest area from before? Qin Yun felt that the dragon forest area was very useful. As long as he hid in the dragon forest area, he wouldn't be able to fight and would be very safe. I created it, but it's gone now. I can't create such a place anymore. The main reason is because the divine cosmos evil dragon broke the seal. Yun Long said, I really hope to get rid of the divine cosmos evil dragon as soon as possible. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Senior, the divine cosmos evil dragon's body is extremely tattered. Did you devour the power of his body? Yun Long laughed a few times and said, I devoured it. Give me a little more time, and the divine cosmos evil dragon will be eaten by me until not even its bones remain. Qin Yun already knows that this Yun Long is not an easy person to deal with. He actually managed to torture the divine cosmos evil dragon to such a miserable state. Qin Yun, you better go out and provoke those fellows from the heavenly law divine realm. Make them send more heavenly guards over. Yun Long said, As long as those heavenly guards come to the Cloud Dragon mountain range, they will be meat next to my mouth. All right, I'll go out as soon as possible. Qin Yun stroked his chin and said, Then, Senior, can you give me a bit of sweetness first? After the sacrifice, the heaven-burying mausoleum will appear. Many mausoleums and mausoleums will appear. Most of them are sealed with some very powerful fellows. Yin Long said, You just said that. Qin Yun nodded. I know of a mausoleum with a dragon pearl inside. Yin Long said, That dragon pearl is also a divine universe dragon pearl. Divine universe dragon pearl? Qin Yun muttered. You have already obtained the divine cosmos evil dragon's dragon pearl. This is also one of the divine universe dragon pearls. Yin Long said, Others don't know, but I know very well that you have a very strong 9 dragons heavenly origin formation in your hands. What does the dragon pearl have to do with the 9 dragons heavenly origin formation? Qin Yun asked. The 9 dragons heavenly origin formation set up with 9 divine universe dragon pearls is very strong. It is also called the divine universe 9 dragons formation or the ancestral dragon heavenly origin formation. In short, it is very strong. Yin Long said with a smile. Don't tell me you don't want to create the strongest 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. Of course I want to. Can you really help me get that dragon pearl? Qin Yun said, Since dragon pearl is so precious, why don't you ask for it yourself? Yin Long said, I can't get it, but I can tell you the location and let you get it yourself. Qin Yun obtained the divine universe evil dragon's dragon pearl and only planned to use it as an energy source. Now that he knows that he has the chance to obtain even more dragon pearls, he naturally wants to use them to lay down formations. All right, I'll go out now and think of a way to get the heavenly law divine realm to send even more and stronger heavenly guards. Qin Yun said, If you succeed, come find me again. No problem. Whether or not I can control the Cloud Dragon mountain range will depend on your performance next. Yin Long said with a smile. The Cloud Dragon formed by the white clouds suddenly dispersed and disappeared. Qin Yun promptly returned to the wooden building. Yang Shiryu is still resting inside the 9-sun divine spirit. Qin Yun is sitting in the hall of the wooden building, recalling what he said when he met Yin Long. Ling Yun said, Xiao Yun, that Yin Long has already opened up the space. If Sister Yang's moon elves cooperate to control the heaven leaping shuttle to travel through space, the consumption won't be that great. Furthermore, they can travel more frequently. Yes, I need to return to the Divine Inscription Mountain immediately. Qin Yun said, I need the help of the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Divine Inscription Mountain could turn into Hercules and unleash a very strong power. 4 hours later, Yang Shiryu came out of the 9-sun divine spirit. When she found out that Qin Yun and Yin Long had met, she was very shocked. Xiao Yun, let's go to the Divine Inscription Mountain now and bring it over. Then, will kill all the heavenly guards near the heaven-suppressing gate. Yang Shiryu said, since the defense of the Divine Inscription Mountain is pretty good, let's let the Divine Inscription Mountain attract the attention of the heavenly law divine realm. All right. Qin nodded and said, at that time, the pressure on the heaven-suppressing gate will not be that great. Qin took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and went to the main control room of the heaven-leaping shuttle with Yang Shiryu. Chapter 1938. After Yang Shiryu's moon elves swallowed and fused with the spatial Xianant, they slept for a period of time. At this moment, they were even more compatible with the power of the spatial Xianant. Under Yang Shiryu's control, Qin Yun's heaven-leaping shuttle could directly shuttle out of the heaven-suppressing gate. The Divine Inscription Mountain was moving. Yang Shiryu did not know the exact location of the Divine Inscription Mountain, so she could only try her best to travel in the direction of the heaven-leaping shuttle. After the first spatial travel, Yang Shiryu chuckled and said, the space in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range has indeed been opened up. This time, the Moon Elves didn't expend a lot of energy when they used spatial jump, so they can use it many times in a row. The opening of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range was only targeted at the heavenly guards of the natural law divine realm. If the others wanted to travel through space, they could only do so through the mysterious dark space creatures like the spatial profound ants. Qin Yun took out the soul-chasing talisman and said, we're still a distance away from the Divine Inscription Mountain. Let's continue traveling through space. Are the Divine Inscription Mountain and Heaven City together? Yang Shiryu asked. Qin Yun took out 2 soul-chasing talismans, one for Princess Anya and the other for Xiao Yuemei. Not together, Qin Yun said with a frown. What's going on? Didn't Creation Heaven City follow the Divine Inscription Mountain? This was what the Azure Dragon had said before. The Azure Dragon could use a secret technique to communicate with the little black donkey from afar. Could it be that Heaven City went to do something else? As Yang Shiryu spoke, she used the Moon Elf to control the heaven-leaping shuttle to travel through space. After traveling through space this time, they were very close to the Divine Mountain of Inscription. The light emitted by the soul-chasing talisman was very bright. Qin Yun shook his head and said, I don't know. Let's go to the Divine Inscription Mountain and ask. Yang Shiryu looked around. She and Qin Yun were in the main control room of the heaven-leaping shuttle and could clearly see the situation outside. They were in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. The heaven-leaping shuttle floated in the air, surrounded by layers of huge mountains. The Heaven Burial Mausoleum has appeared. Those mausoleums should be in the same region, right? Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew in the direction of the soul-chasing talisman. Yang Shiryu said, Xiao Yun, why do I feel that the Cloud Dragon Mountain range has changed a lot, especially in terms of energy? Could it be that the Cloud Dragon Mountain range is evolving towards a saint-level space? Qin Yun was alarmed. It's possible. We have to leave as soon as possible before the Cloud Dragon Mountain range evolves. Yang Shiryu nodded and said, if the Cloud Dragon Mountain range evolves into a holy level space, there will be a large number of powerful sacred transformation experts coming over. The natural law divine realm could quickly create experts of all levels. Because the Cloud Dragon Mountain range was only an immortal grade space, he could only send a 9th-stage immortal emperor over at most. If the Cloud Dragon Mountain range evolved into a holy level space, then the people that came would definitely be sacred transformation stage experts, and there would definitely be a lot of them. Qin Yun could only deal with experts who had just become sacred. If they were stronger, it would be difficult to deal with them. That was why Yang Shiryu said that she had to leave before the Cloud Dragon Mountain range evolved into a saint-level space. Before that, they had to enter the main tomb of Heaven Burial Hill. The speed of the heaven-leaping shuttle is very fast. Not long after, they saw the Divine Mountain. The Divine Inscription Mountain flew in the air and turned into a strange ship. The Inscription Divine Mountain could transform into the shape of many beasts. Previously, it had even transformed into a large stone pagoda. The current form of the divine mountain is a very large stone ship, several hundred meters long. When he looked over, there were many flowers, plants, and trees planted on top of the stone ship. It looked like a beautiful garden in the shape of a giant ship. It was flying above the clouds, dreamy and beautiful. The speed at which the divine inscription mountain flew was very fast. It was obvious that it was speeding towards the heaven-suppressing sect. After Qin Yun chased after it, he was sensed by the divine inscription mountain. The heaven-leaping shuttle was received by the divine inscription mountain and entered the space inside the divine inscription mountain. Qin Yun and Yang Shiyu arrived at the divine inscription mountain. Xiao Yuemei held a large piece of barbecued meat in her hand and ran over. She shouted, "Brother, big sister Yang." Xiao Yuemei smiled and threw herself into Qin Yun's embrace. Qin Yun pinched Xiao Yuemei's charming face and opened his mouth wide to take a bite of the barbecued meat in her hand. Long Yuqing, the little black donkey, and the others were sitting beside a large fire, roasting meat. When they saw Qin Yun return, they only greeted him and did not come over. "You guys are in such a good mood." Qin Yun walked over with a smile. "Boss, what's the situation with the heaven-suppressing sect?" Big Brother Azure Dragon said that the situation over there is very tense. The little black donkey asked, "It is indeed very tense. The enemy we are facing is very strong." Qin Yun sat beside the bonfire and slowly explained the situation of the heavenly law divine realm. Beside the bonfire, there is a mighty old man. This old man has a head full of explosive white hair and a big beard. As he ate the dragon meat, he listened attentively. This old man is the heavenly Lion King. During this period of time, he has also integrated into the divine inscription mountain. The main reason is that there are a lot of delicious food here. Furthermore, he knows that this divine inscription mountain has a very bright future. Heavenly armor? This kind of damn thing is very difficult to deal with. Back then, I was chased and beaten by a guy wearing heavenly armor. The heavenly Lion King snorted. "I never thought that the heavenly law divine realm's trash would still be using this kind of damned thing. I have a way to deal with the heavenly armor." Qin Yun smiled and took out the suppression armor sacred talisman weapon. He took Xiao Yuemei's small mirror and recorded the entire set of runes of the suppression armor's sacred talisman weapon. Then, he gave Xiao Yuemei a few power-storing pearls filled with the power of the 9-dragon divine universe. Xiao Yuemei also more or less knows how to refine the suppression armor sacred talisman weapon. With Xiao Hua, an immortal emperor devil mirror here, it is enough to help Xiao Yuemei refine it. Is this kind of sacred talisman weapon really useful? The heavenly Lion King is somewhat doubtful. "Great Lion, believe in my brother. He is very awesome," Xiao Yuemei said with a smile. "If he says he can deal with the heavenly armor, then he can really deal with it." The heavenly Lion King said, "If Shun Cosmic Evil Dragon really gives up a portion of his energy to go to the altar, then now is definitely the best time to get rid of him." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "Shun Cosmic Evil Dragon is definitely hiding in the territory of those heavenly guards. It will be very difficult to get rid of him." "Xiao Yun, we could go and give it a try," Yang Shiyu said. "The heavenly guards came from the heavenly law divine realm. They must have a secret base." Shimin Dazhuang said with a smile, "We will go and cause some trouble. If we can't beat them, we can just run away. Hercules has been strengthened by us by a lot. Furthermore, we have the heavenly Lion King. We are almost invincible in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. But we don't know where the heavenly guards are gathered." Qin Yun said. "Ask Yunlong. He definitely knows." Yang Shiyu said. Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, "I will go outside and try to see if I can contact Yunlong." He left the space inside the divine inscription mountain and came to the garden of the stone ship. He sat on the lawn, closed his eyes, and released his mental power. He concentrated his mind and used his mental power to call out to Yunlong. Not long after, a dragon formed from clouds and mist appeared in the garden of the huge stone ship. Yunlong appeared. After he arrived, he exclaimed in admiration, "This is your inscription gate? It's really not bad. The heavenly Lion King should also be inside. right? Qin Yun nodded and said, "Do you want to meet him?" "I can't be bothered to meet him," Yunlong said with a smile. "What business do you have with me? We're the heavenly guards gathered. We plan to go over to investigate and cause some trouble," Qin Yun said with a mischievous smile. "Going directly to the lair of the heavenly guards is rather dangerous," Yunlong said in shock. "It's fine. Even if there's danger, we can still escape. Qin Yun has already decided to cause trouble." "All right, I'll tell you the location." As Yunlong spoke, a white light shot out from his eyes and hit Qin Yun's eyes. Qin Yun immediately knew where the heavenly guards were gathered. There are a lot of heavenly guards. This time, they're determined to obtain more than half of the things in the heaven burial tomb. Yunlong said. Qin Yun said, "They won't succeed." After Yunlong left, Qin Yun returned to the Divine Inscription Mountain. After entering the Divine Inscription Mountain, Qin Yun immediately told the mountain god the location and let him control the Divine Inscription Mountain to fly over. "Sister Yang, I'll go with you first," Qin Yun said. "All right." Yang Shuriwa nodded. Xiao Yuemei and the others stayed in the Divine Inscription Mountain and prepared for battle. Yang Shuriwa and Qin Yun entered the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and left the Divine Inscription Mountain. They headed toward the gathering place of the Heavenly Guards. In the main control room of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, Qin Yun controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to become invisible and quickly flew away. "Xiao Yun, I just asked them about the situation of Heaven City," Yang Shuriwa said. "Originally, Heaven City flew over together with the Divine Inscription Mountain. Later, Princess Anya suddenly wanted to go to a place. Let's temporarily separate." "Where does she want to take Heaven City?" Qin Yun said with a frown. "She said that she wants to find a mausoleum. That mausoleum is as big as a city, and there are very strong people sealed inside." Yang Shuriwa said, "She wants to release those people." "Those people, are they enemies or friends?" Qin Yun suddenly felt somewhat worried. "They are neither enemies nor friends. If they come out, as long as we don't provoke them, nothing will happen." Yang Shuriwa said, "This is what Yu Qing told me. She also said that the group of people Princess Anya is looking for is called Ling Tian Clan." Qin Yun said in surprise, "Could this Ling Tian Clan be a very powerful clan? Was it also sealed in the Heaven Burial Tomb before?" "From the name, it should be," Yang Shuriwa said. "This Heaven Burial Tomb is really huge. It contains so many mausoleums." Qin Yun is still somewhat worried. He said, "Something that can be sealed in the Heaven Burial Tomb must be very strong." He thought of his 8 souls and 9 spirits sealed in the Heaven Burial Tomb. He did not know what kind of tomb he was in. Chapter 1939. The Heaven Leaping Shuttle arrived above the lake. The surface of the lake was very calm, and it was surrounded by mountains and forests. There was nothing special about it. If Yunlong had not mentioned it, Qin Yun would not have known that the Heavenly Guard's lair was beneath him. The lake was huge, and one could not see the other side from the shore. The water of the lake was clear and calm. Occasionally, a gentle breeze would blow across the surface of the lake. It was afternoon. Although there were 3 suns in the sky, the lakeside was very cool and pleasant. Yang Shuryu exited the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and floated in the air. She looked at the calm lake and asked doubtfully, "Little Yun, are you sure that the Heavenly Guard's lair is down there?" Qin Yun also came outside and took out the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. The 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon had been modified, and the Ice Goddess Totem had been added. After adding the Snow Goddess Totem, Qin Yun had yet to test the effects. He mainly wanted to see how the cooldown was. Because after 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon fires a very powerful projectile, it becomes very hot. Qin Yun has not been able to find a way to quickly cool it down. "Let's see what happens," Qin Yun said with a smile. The 9 Dragons Heaven Origin Formation was placed inside the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon to power it. Qin Yun loaded the cannon barrel with a star cannonball. When he was in the Immortal Desolate, he had obtained many good stars from the Outer Heaven Alliance army. As long as he had time, he could use the pill-melting Heavenly Furnace to refine star artillery shells. Run after the fight. When the divine inscription mountain arrives, we will make plans. Yang Shiyu said. Qin Yun took a deep breath and activated the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. Buzz! Although the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon fired a very powerful star cannonball, the sound it made was still relatively gentle. The star cannonball brought with it a very strong force and instantly pierced through the depths of the lake. Boom! The star cannonball exploded at the bottom of the lake. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei hurriedly returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle and traveled through space. They left the sky above the lake and watched from afar. After the star cannonball at the bottom of the lake exploded, the power that erupted was extremely terrifying. At the center of the explosion, a large amount of lake water was sent flying high into the sky. The huge lake immediately surged with waves. Hualala, a large amount of lake water flew into the air and fell down, colliding with the huge waves on the surface of the lake, causing a huge commotion. Not long after, many heavenly guards flew out of the turbulent lake. The heavenly guards were larger in size, more than 2 meters tall. They wore golden heavenly armor and wielded golden sabers. This is indeed the lair of the heavenly guards. I wonder if the impact of my cannon was great. Qin Yun said. It's definitely not small. Yang Shiryu smiled and said, Look at them. They all look very angry. Qin Yun looked at the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon in his hand. It is still very hot to the touch. But the Snow Goddess Totem is also playing its role. It is releasing wave after wave of ice-cold power to cool down the cannon barrel. Sister Rujing's Divine Position Totem is truly useful, Qin Yun said with smile. Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon can recover very quickly and can attack very quickly. Yang Shuriwei said, Is Sister Rujing still cultivating her spirit? It's been a long time. That's right. Qin Yun had previously wanted to cultivate his own spirit. He thought that it would be very fast. Xian Rujing can already summon Snow Woman Immortals. She has a certain foundation, so her cultivation speed is very fast. But she has been in seclusion for so long and has yet to finish cultivating, it can be seen that it will take a very long time. After Qin Yun shot the cannon, the originally tranquil lake's surface became unceasingly large waves. After the large waves persisted for a period of time, they gradually slowed down. There are many heavenly guards wearing heavenly armor patrolling the lake surface. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu are inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle is very far away from the lake. It is also hidden. It is very difficult to discover it. They want to wait for Divine Mountain of Inscription to arrive and then observe the situation of the lake. Suddenly, the lake's surface once again surged up and down violently. Something is coming out. Yang Shiryu lightly yelled. Could be a big guy. Qin Yun said in amazement. What could it be? Roar. A huge shark with a dragon head leaped out of the lake. The shark's body is black. Its head looks like a mix between a dragon and a shark. The fins on both sides of its body are very large. They look like wings. After the huge dragon head shark leapt out, its body suddenly became wrapped up by a burst of golden mist. In the blink of an eye, the dragon head shark's lower body underwent a great change. It actually turned into a human. The shark is hundreds of meters tall. Its lower body has a pair of huge legs covered in dragon scales, and its upper body is the body of a shark. Its fins also have 2 huge claws, like the claws of a bat's wings. The dragon-head black shark floated in the air, looking around and constantly roaring. Who attacked us? Hurry up and come out. The dragon-head black shark roared. I am the leader here, the heavenly dragon shark king. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu looked at each other in astonishment. This guy, is he the boss of this lair? Qin Yun said in astonishment. I wonder how strong he is. He looks quite scary. Yang Shiryu said. Qin Yun patted the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and said with a smile, Give him a shot and we'll know. Can it hit him? Yang Shiryu said, If he dodges, it will be a waste. Don't be afraid. He won't be able to dodge. Qin Yun said very confidently. The reason why the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon needs to be activated by the 9 Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation is to ensure the highest speed, to ensure that the cannonball can hit the target in an instant. The cannonball shot out by the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon. No matter if it is a cannonball condensed from energy, a star cannonball, or a cannonball refined from other things, they are all very precious. Only by ensuring absolute accuracy can it not be wasted. Qin Yun stood in the main control room of the Heaven Leaping Shuttle and aimed the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon at the Heavenly Dragon Shark King. The guys sent by the Heavenly Law Divine Realm are not necessarily humans. Yang Shiryu said, the things they created should be stronger beasts. The Divine Universe Evil Dragon seems to be created by them. Qin Yun said, did you aim? Yang Shiryu asked. Yes, Qin Yun said with a smile. Fire. The 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon fired a star cannonball. The star cannonball hit one of the Heavenly Dragon Shark King's huge eyes. Boom! With a deafening sound, the star cannonball accurately landed on the Heavenly Dragon Shark King's eye, erupting with a burst of fierce flames. The Heavenly Dragon Shark King's eye was also blasted apart, blood splattered out like a waterfall. Die! The Heavenly Dragon Shark King doesn't seem to be in any pain at all. With a loud roar, his mountain-like body flashed near the Heaven Leaping Shuttle in the blink of an eye. Then he attacked the Heaven Leaping Shuttle with his claw. The moment the 9 Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon fired, the Heavenly Dragon Shark King locked onto the Heaven Leaping Shuttle's position and teleported over. Yang Shiryu immediately used the Moon Fairy to control the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to travel through space. Boom! The might of the Heavenly Dragon Shark King's claw is extremely terrifying. After it landed, hundreds of huge mountains in the surrounding area immediately collapsed. The most terrifying thing is that after those huge mountains collapsed, they quickly melted and turned into water. The Heavenly Dragon Shark King has a special ability that can turn things into liquid. This guy is worthy of being a leader. He is indeed very strong, Qin Yun said in shock. If not for Yang Shiryu's quick reaction and being able to control the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to travel through space and time, the Heaven Leaping Shuttle would have been hit. If it was hit, it would most likely be severely injured. Who the hell are you? The Heavenly Dragon Shark King roared. Don't be sneaky. Quickly come out. Listen up. I am the Secmaster of the Inscription Gate, Qin Yun. Qin Yun shouted. I came here to kill Divine Universe Evil Dragon. Just as he finished speaking, Yang Shiryu immediately controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to travel through space. After traveling through space, the Heavenly Dragon Shark King flew over in an instant, and his huge claws fiercely descended. Qin Yun, it's you bastard who killed the Red Devil Beast. The Heavenly Dragon Shark King said angrily, we will definitely capture you, the enemy of the Heavenly Tao, and seal you. When the Heavenly Guards of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm attacked the Heaven Suppressing Gate, they suffered quite a bit of losses. A large number of Heavenly Armor Guards were killed, and the Red Gigantic Beast was also killed by the Ancient Ox Devil because of Qin Yun. Qin Yun doesn't dare to attack now. The Star Artillery shells are powerful enough, but they are unable to kill the Heavenly Dragon Shark King. The Heavenly Dragon Shark King's eye was blasted apart, and a large hole appeared. However, after the Heavenly Dragon Shark King absorbed a large amount of lake water, that I grew out again. Fighting with this kind of thing with strong regenerative power is very difficult. Even if the Divine Inscription Mountain comes, Qin Yun doesn't have the confidence to eliminate this Heavenly Dragon Shark King. He can only think of ways to cause great damage to the Heavenly Guard's lair. Wait for the Divine Inscription Mountain to come, Yang Shiryu said. It should be here soon. Qin Yun is also thinking of a way to deal with the Heavenly Dragon Shark King when the time comes. Yang Shiryu controlled the Heaven Leaping Shuttle to travel through space and head towards the Divine Inscription Mountain. The Divine Inscription Mountain is flying in the air and has already turned into a giant wearing stone armor. This is the form of Hercules. Old Mountain, when you guys are fighting, remember to use dragon tendons to entangle that big guy. That guy's recovery ability is very strong. Qin Yun transmitted his voice to the divine inscription mountain from within the heaven-leaping shuttle. Recovery ability is very strong? Then leave it to me, the Heavenly Lion King said. Qin Yun almost forgot that there is still an ancient ferocious beast like the Heavenly Lion King. If the Heavenly Lion King makes a move, the chances of winning this battle are still very high. The Heavenly Dragon Shark King, who was above the lake, immediately roared when he saw Hercules coming over. During the battle in the Heavenly Lion Tomb, Hercules went on a killing spree. Furthermore, he even clashed head-on with the Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon. When the Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon and the Heavenly Law Divine Realm joined forces, they naturally talked about Hercules' situation. The moment the Heavenly Dragon Shark King saw Hercules, he recognized that it is Qin Yun's item. Hercules suddenly became very big. He swooped down from the sky and punched at the Heavenly Dragon Shark King. The Heavenly Dragon Shark King controlled the lake water to float up and envelop Hercules inside. Roar! The Heavenly Lion King suddenly flew out from the Divine Inscription Mountain and turned into a huge nether realm Heavenly Lion, breaking the ball of water, trapping Hercules. Heavenly Lion King! The Heavenly Dragon Shark King shouted in alarm and anger. Chapter 1940. Qin Yun is a little surprised. He did not expect Heavenly Lion King and Heavenly Dragon Shark King to know each other. Yang Shuriwes said, Heavenly Dragon Shark King knows Heavenly Lion King. Could this guy be as strong as Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon back then? It should be. Heavenly Dragon Shark King definitely knows Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon. Qin Yun said, It's strange. This guy should be very strong. Why was he sent to such a place? Heavenly Lion King and Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon had their hearts sealed in Heaven Burial Mausoleum. Therefore, their cultivation was at most peak 9th tier Immortal Emperor. The reason why they were still strong here was because of their bodies. If they could take back their hearts, their strength would increase by leaps and bounds. Their hearts were the core source of their strength. For example, Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon's Dragon Ball had been extracted from his heart. Heavenly Dragon Shark King and Heavenly Lion King fought intensely. Their strength was on par. Heavenly Lion King was suddenly sent flying by Heavenly Dragon Shark King. He landed on the ground and rolled, breaking through several tall mountains. At this moment, Vigor God was also surrounded by a large group of heavenly guards. The heavenly guards' sabers or spears were all shining with golden light. They were wearing golden heavenly armor. More and more heavenly guards flew out from the lake. Moreover, there were several tens of great heavenly armor guards that were several meters tall. The weapons in their hands were huge golden axes. Vigor God's defense was very strong. After activating the Black Tortoise formation, the spears thrown by the heavenly guards were unable to pierce through the barrier outside Vigor God. The mountain god controlled Vigor God and charged towards the nearest heavenly guards. Then he extended his huge palm and grabbed those heavenly armor guards. When the huge palm reached out, it suddenly produced a very strong suction force. Those heavenly guards that wanted to escape were sucked in by the suction force and fell into Vigor God's huge palm. Vigor God grabbed a 2-meter-tall heavenly armor guard and squeezed it hard. After the heavenly armor guard's heavenly armor was stimulated, it burst out with waves of lightning. It also produced a very strong energy barrier, causing Vigor God to be unable to continue squeezing. Is Vigor God not strong enough? Qin Yun looked at Vigor God's palm that was surging with lightning. Heavenly armor is indeed powerful. If you can't make it lose its effectiveness, the defense it produces is still very strong. Yang Shuriwes said, Sister Yang, stay here. I'll go out and help. Qin Yun said, just pay attention. Yang Shuryu nodded. Qin Yun left the heavenly leaping shuttle and used the light transformation sacred pupil to fly over. After concealing himself, he threw out a flying saber. The flying dagger was the armor-suppressing holy talisman weapon. The flying dagger hit the heavenly armor guard with a Hercules palm. The heavenly armor of the heavenly armor guardians suddenly lost its effect. Boom! Strength surged out of the Hercules arm. As he crushed the heavenly armor guard, a loud bang was heard. In Qin Yun's nine-sun divine spirit, Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi could continuously refine suppression sacred talisman weapons. However, there were too many heavenly armor guards. Qin Yun only had 20 to 30 armor suppression holy talisman weapons in his possession. There was no way he could deal with thousands of heavenly armor guards. Hercules became huge and floated in the air. It was a huge target. The heavenly armor guards did not approach. Instead, they kept throwing their spears to consume the energy of the divine mountain. Qin Yun returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle, shook his head, and said, Hercules is very strong, but he is still unable to break through the defense of the heavenly armor. After that, he communicated with the mountain god and asked him to temporarily retreat. If he continued to fight, he would consume a lot of energy, and he wouldn't be able to kill many heavenly armor guards. After Hercules ran away, Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to approach and entered the inner space of the divine mountain. Those heavenly armors are too powerful. The mountain god said, I used such a strong power, but I was still unable to crush it. Furthermore, my palm was attacked by a very strong lightning. The heavenly armor is that strong. That's why I told you to retreat. If we continue to waste time, we will be the ones to suffer. Qin Yun said. Xiao Hua said, Boss, why don't you tell us the runes of the armor suppression sacred talisman weapon? Let us modify it, and let Hercules have a weapon that can restrain the heavenly armor. The main power that could restrain the heavenly armor was rather special. Either Qin Yun's absolute yang power combined with the nether moon, or the power of the sun and moonshine together, or the power of the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation. I can release the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation and give it a try, Qin Yun said. The power of the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation can suppress the heavenly armor to a certain extent, but the effect isn't too obvious. We need to use some runes to drill into the heavenly armor's loopholes to have a good effect. Let's give it a try, the mountain god said. Qin Yun released the nine-dragon rune heavenly sabers and activated the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation. After the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation was activated, the mountain god immediately absorbed the nine-dragon heavenly origin formation's power and once again charged towards the group of heavenly armor guards. After going over, he once again suffered a round of attacks and was crazily stabbed by those spears. Those spears are also very mysterious. They flew over and attacked Hercules' body, causing a burst of violent small explosions. The spears also disappear because of this, but very soon, spears appeared in the hands of the heavenly armor guards again. Qin Yun guessed that there is a very strong power that can continuously condense a large number of spears and then transfer them to the heavenly armor guards. This time, Hercules grabbed a few meters tall great heavenly armor guard. After using the power of the nine-dragon divine universe to suppress it, the lightning that erupted from the heavenly armor was not as violent. However, it was still difficult to break through the defense of the heavenly armor. Hercules condensed a vast amount of energy and suddenly exploded. Boom! That great heavenly armor guard was finally crushed. Qin Yun, Xiao Hua, and the others also let out a cheer. This won't do. The consumption is too great. There are so many of these things, it's impossible to kill them all. The mountain god said, killing one of these things won't yield much. The price was huge, but the rewards were small. Even if they could kill the great heavenly armor guard, wouldn't mean much. The heavenly dragon Shark King and the heavenly lion king are fighting more and more fiercely in the other mountain range. From the looks of it, the heavenly lion king has the advantage because his bite force is very strong and he can bite out a very deep wound on the heavenly dragon Shark King's body. At this moment, the heavenly lion king's arm is being bitten by the heavenly lion king. Let's go and help the heavenly lion king, Qin Yun said. After all, this is the lair of the heavenly guards in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. It is very unrealistic to rely on the power of the inscription gate to destroy it. Qin Yun's main goal is to come here and cause trouble. He wants to let the heavenly law divine realm know that the strength of his inscription gate is not weak, and let the heavenly law divine realm send more and stronger heavenly armor guards over. This is the agreement between Qin Yun and Yun Long. As long as he can do it, Yun Long can help him find a divine universe dragon pearl. Damn dog, let go of me. The heavenly dragon shark king's arm is being bitten, and he is swinging it with all his might. The heavenly lion king bit the heavenly dragon shark king. Its claws are constantly scratching, erupting with a fierce power. Is the heavenly lion fighting dragon claw? After Hercules went over, he threw out a very long dragon tendon and tied it around the heavenly dragon shark king's legs, then wrapped it around the heavenly dragon shark king's other arm. Roar! The heavenly lion king roared and bit off one of the heavenly dragon shark king's arms. You bastards, you will die very miserably. The heavenly dragon shark king roared in anger. His body has already been tied up, and his arm has been bitten off and eaten by the heavenly lion king. When the other great heavenly armor guards rushed over, Hercules took out another thick dragon tendon and lashed it at the group of heavenly armor guards. The dragon tendon lashed out like a whip, like a crazy and ferocious wave. It struck towards a group of great heavenly armor guards. The great heavenly armor guards were hit by the dragon tendon and were sent flying. They were wearing heavenly armor, so they were not injured. The heavenly lion king suddenly bit the heavenly dragon shark king's thigh and used his claws to tear it, causing the heavenly dragon shark king to let out a series of angry roars. Just you wait. The heavenly dragon shark king's body suddenly turned into a large amount of water and broke free from the dragon tendon's bindings. Walala! A large amount of water rushed into the sky and seeped into many spatial cracks. The heavenly dragon shark king escaped back to the heavenly law divine realm. At the same time, a large number of heavenly armor guards suddenly came out from the spatial cracks. The majority of the heavenly armor guards that appeared this time were giant heavenly armor guards. Their bodies were more than 10 meters tall, and they held huge golden axes in their hands. Their bodies were filled with explosive power, and they looked very terrifying. On the heavenly law divine realm side, reinforcements were coming. It seemed like they were going to take down the divine inscription mountain and the heavenly lion king. A large number of giant heavenly armor guards and great heavenly armor guards came over. They were densely packed and covered the sky as they let out shouts. "Senior, come back quickly!" Qin Yun suddenly shouted. The heavenly lion king also realized how powerful the heavenly armor guard army was. He immediately returned to the interior of the divine inscription mountain. "Let's go!" Qin Yun shouted. The Hercules leaped and ran on the ground because the sky was filled with heavenly armor guards. While the Hercules was running, a large number of golden spears fell from the sky like a rainstorm, chasing after the Hercules and stabbing him. Boom, boom, boom. Everywhere the Hercules passed by, a large number of spears pierced him and then exploded. It was as if the ground was being plowed by wave after wave of exploding spears. That bastard heavenly dragon shark king could have run long ago, but he felt that it was embarrassing, so he persisted with me. The heavenly lion king laughed and said, "If he had run earlier, I wouldn't have eaten an arm." The heavenly lion king heavily injured the heavenly dragon shark king and was in an extremely good mood. The mountain god, however, was not in such a good mood because there were still many giant heavenly armor guards chasing after him. Those giant heavenly armor guards were very big, and they were like locusts chasing after him. Qin Yun and company were inside the divine inscription mountain and could see the situation outside. When they saw a large number of huge heavenly armor guards covering the sky, they were all astonished. The heavenly law divine domain is truly terrifying. Xiao Yuanmei exclaimed, "Big Sister Yang, let's go out and put the divine inscription mountain into the heaven leaping shuttle. We'll teleport through space and leave." As Qin Yun spoke, he pulled Yang Shuriwei and entered the heaven leaping shuttle. After the heaven leaping shuttle flew out, It immediately teleported the Hercules to the warehouse. Let's go. Yang Shuriwei controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to teleport through space, distancing herself from the Heavenly Armor Guard army. After distancing themselves from the Heavenly Armor Guard, the mountain god heaved a sigh of relief. Qin Yun also controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and released the divine inscription mountain. You guys go to the heaven-suppressing sect. I'm going to Heaven Creation City. Qin Yun greeted Xiao Hua and company before controlling the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly away. Xiao Yun, it's time to contact Yunlong, right? Yang Shuriwei said, the Heavenly Law Divine Domain has sent a lot of huge Heavenly Armor Guards. The agreement has been reached. Chapter 1941. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei are inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Through Princess Inye's soul-chasing talisman, they can determine that Heaven City is still a distance away from them. After the space of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range was opened, the two Moon Elves did not consume too much energy to use the space shenanigans. I'm going to start the spatial travel, Yang Shuriwei said, and took over the heaven-leaping shuttle. Qin Yun nodded and said, let's begin. Yang Shuriwei closed her eyes and controlled the Moon Elves to release energy to cooperate with the Nine-Dragon Heavenly Origin Formation and inject a very strong energy into the heaven-leaping shuttle. After the heaven-leaping shuttle absorbed the power of the Moon Elves, under Yang Shuriwei's control, it shuttled towards the direction of Heaven City. In the blink of an eye, the spatial travel was completed. After arriving at this area, Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei could see that the ground in front of them was filled with grassland and many small flowers. After entering this area, Qin Yun felt that it was somewhat different. Let's go out and take a look, Qin Yun said before he and Yang Shuriwei arrived outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. The heaven-leaping shuttle floated in the air. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei stood on the heaven-leaping shuttle and looked at the grassland on the ground. Is this the buried heaven land? Qin Yun looked around and said, what exactly is going on with this place? At this moment, a white cloud suddenly floated over from the sky. After the white cloud floated over, it churned for a moment and turned into a cloud dragon. Yunlong is here. Senior, is this place the buried heaven land? Qin Yun asked. Yes, this is a very strange place. The buried heaven land was originally in a space, but after the sacrifice, this space overlapped with the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Yunlong said, in that case, is this place considered to be in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? Yang Shuriwei asked, it's here for now, but this space can be closed. Once it is closed, it will no longer be connected to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Yunlong said, why do I have a very strange feeling? What's going on? Qin Yun asked curiously. This place is the buried heaven land. All kinds of buried heaven mausoleums are inside. Yunlong said with a smile, those buried heaven mausoleums have sealed all kinds of powerful creatures or souls. After being sealed for so long, they're naturally filled with resentment. Qin Yun said with a frown, the strange feeling I feel, are they all formed by the resentment? He used the absolute spirit to test it out, but he did not see any other strange energy. Of course, it's not resentment. The resentment and energy here have all been suppressed. The strange feeling you have is caused by suppressing the and resentment chi. Yunlong chuckled. If you feel uncomfortable, then it means that you have resentment in your body that needs to be suppressed. Qin Yun was secretly alarmed because deep in his heart, there was indeed an extremely evil and brutal side to him. There were a few times when he was almost swallowed by the evil, but fortunately, he was able to avert danger every time. Hearing Yunlong's words, he suddenly felt that there was something in his body that needed to be suppressed and purified. This buried heaven land has sealed and buried all sorts of powerful creatures. It's truly rare to not sense a trace of ruthless aura in here. Yang Shui said, isn't that so? Yunlong laughed. Of course, the most amazing thing about buried heaven land is that it's very hard to destroy. Qin Yun looked at his surroundings and said, Very difficult to destroy? What does that mean? Yunlong said, firstly, the space where the buried Heavenland is located can't be destroyed. Secondly, everything inside it can't be destroyed. If you don't believe me, just attack below and you'll know. Qingyun looked at the grassland below him and punched out, producing a very powerful lightning flame. When the powerful fist force landed on the grassland, it suddenly turned into a gentle breeze and dissipated in all directions. The flowers and plants were only blown a little. They were not destroyed at all. Qingyun was alarmed. Although his punch was not the strongest, it was not weak either. It was actually unable to destroy the flowers and plants here. Yang Shiryu said in surprise, doesn't that mean that it would be very difficult to break through the various mausoleums here? So, I know which mausoleum has the dragon pearl, but I can't take it out. Yinlong said, the heavenly law divine realm has sent many more heavenly armor guards over, and they're all very big ones. Senior, you should be very satisfied, right? Qin Yun chuckled. Not bad. Yinlong smiled and said, I'll guide you to find the dragon pearl now. As he spoke, Yinlong's eyes shot out 2 rays of white light towards Qin Yun's eyes, allowing him to know where the mausoleum was. In just an instant, Qin Yun knew where the mausoleum was. It was not very far from where they were. Qin Yun, the place we are in looks very calm, but the buried Heavenland is actually very dangerous. Yinlong said, whether or not you can obtain that dragon pearl will depend on you. Danger? What danger? Qin Yun looked around and said, I can't see anything. There are all kinds of killing formations in the buried Heavenland. In addition, there are all kinds of heavenly puppets or heavenly puppet beasts guarding the mausoleum. As long as you get close to those mausoleums, you might encounter this kind of thing. Yinlong said, I'm not trying to scare you. So you must remember, you must be small. Heart. I will remember. Qin Yun nodded. Senior, have you heard of the Ling Tian clan? Yang Shiryu asked. I've heard of it. Yinlong's voice suddenly became deeper. It was obvious that he was extremely sensitive or vigilant towards the Ling Tian clan. What kind of race is this? Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu looked at each other and asked. Very powerful. So powerful that it almost destroyed the order of the heavenly Tao. That's why it was sealed. Back then, the Ling Tian clan was an existence that existed even earlier than the Nine Sons royal family. Yinlong said in a deep voice, how do you know about the Ling Tian clan? Is the Ling Tian clan sealed here? Qin Yun said, if we release them, what will the consequences be? I don't know what the consequences will be. In short, it will definitely cause chaos in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Yinlong said, of course it won't affect me. Yang Shiryu asked, how did the Ling Tian clan destroy the order of the heavenly Tao? Yinlong shook his head. I don't know. In short, the people from the Ling Tian clan are very strong. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been sealed here. If they weren't strong, they would have most likely been exterminated. Will the Ling Tian clan really have no effect on the Cloud Dragon Mountain range? Qin Yun was somewhat worried. After all, it was a very strong clan. If the Ling Tian clan really comes out, their greatest enemy will definitely be the heavenly guards of the heavenly law divine realm. Back then, the Ling Tian clan fought with these guys. Yinlong laughed. They're fighting and killing in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. After they die, their energy will be absorbed by me. Of course, it won't affect me. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, the Ling Tian clan will destroy the order of the heavenly Tao. You are the heavens of the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. Aren't you afraid that they will destroy you? I am only the ruler of this Cloud Dragon heavenly region, and the source of my energy is still that mysterious and ethereal heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao that the Ling Tian clan is targeting is that mysterious and ethereal heavenly Tao. They will not find me. Yinlong chuckled. Yinlong's body began to dissipate. After disappearing, Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu returned to the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. Big Sister Yang, let's go to that mausoleum first. Qin Yun said, Heaven Creation City is so big and it's not weak either. If they release the Ling Tian clan, nothing will happen to them. Yang Shiryu nodded and said, We have to be careful when we go find the dragon pearl. Yin Long said that it's very dangerous inside. He's definitely not trying to scare us. Qin Yun controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and carefully flew through the air towards the mausoleum that hid the divine universe dragon pearl. In the message that Yin Long sent to Qin Yun, the mausoleum was a small hill. It was not a huge tomb palace or tomb city. If it was just a small hill, Qin Yun felt that there was nothing to be afraid of. If it was a large tomb city or tomb palace, it would be extremely dangerous to enter. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew for more than half a day. What surprised Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu was that after such a long time, the position of the three suns in the sky did not change at all. The sun hasn't moved. What's going on? Qin Yun said in alarm. Could it be that there's no night here? Yang Shiryu looked at the sky and said, let's go out and take a look and feel the energy of the sunlight. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu arrived outside the heaven-leaping shuttle. They very seriously felt the power of the sun between heaven and earth. A moment later, Qin Yun said in shock, what's going on? Yang Shiryu was also very surprised. Xiao Yun, I can feel 8 types of very strong sun power. This is something that can only be felt when the 9 suns are complete. She already has 8 sun immortal veins, so she can feel 8 types of sun power. Through the 9 sun divine spirit, Qin Yun can absorb 9 types of very strong sun power. Moreover, they're the kind that lean towards sacred power. There are only 3 suns left. Logically speaking, there should only be 3 types of very strong sun power. The other 6 types are relatively weak. They are the residual heat of the 6 suns that fell. How strange, Qin Yun said with a frown. This place is filled with 9 types of very strong sun sacred power. It's as if the 9 suns are at their peak. The 3 suns we saw should be illusions. Yang Shiryu said, there must be a large amount of powerful 9 sun sacred power stored inside the heaven burial tomb. Looks like this is truly a strange space. Qin Yun exclaimed, Xiao Yun, let's quickly take the divine universe dragon pearl and leave this place. Yang Shiryu said, I'm afraid of being trapped here. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle. Their expressions are rather grave. This was because this buried heaven land was truly incredible. Although they had yet to encounter those powerful things, they knew that in this kind of environment, many powerful things could definitely be nurtured. I wonder how strong the heaven puppet puppets and heaven puppet puppets that Yin Long mentioned are. Qin Yun is somewhat worried about encountering these 2 things. Let's hurry up and find that tomb, Yang Shiryu urged. Just as Qin Yun was about to control the heaven-leaping shuttle to move forward, he discovered that a small hill had appeared 1,000 meters in front of them. Chapter 1942. Qin Yun only knows one direction. He only knows what the mausoleum looks like. As for how far it is, he is not very clear. Just now, he and Yang Shiryu went out for a while and observed the surroundings. However, they did not see that small hill. But now, that small hill suddenly appeared in front of them. This is truly too horrifying. Big Sister Yang, are my eyes playing tricks on me? Qin Yun looked at the small hill in front of him and said, did you see that? Yang Shiryu said with frown, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. I also saw it. That small hill can be said to be neither big nor small. It suddenly appeared in front of them without any sound. It is truly frightening. Furthermore, that small hill is a mausoleum. Could it be that all the mausoleums in buried heavenland can run around? Qin Yun said in shock, isn't this too scary? Even if it can run around, it won't be so coincidental that it will appear in front of us when we want to look for it. Yang Shiryu said, Xiao Yun, get something to investigate. It's best if we don't go there ourselves. Qin Yun let Long Tianji come out. Long Tianji released many small lightning dragons. Hundreds of small lightning dragons rushed towards the small hill. Then, with the small hill as the center, they spread out in all directions to investigate whether or not there are any traps in the vicinity of the small hill. Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu are inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. They can clearly see that after the small lightning dragons went over, they did not trigger any bewildering formation or trap formation. Moreover, that small hill is also real because when the small lightning dragons attacked that small hill, they created quite a bit of commotion. It seems like nothing powerful has appeared. Qin Yun looked around and said, "Didn't Yunlong say that there will be heaven puppet puppets or heaven puppet beasts?" Hundreds of small lightning dragons flew out and searched a large area around the small hill. However, they didn't find anything. Yang Shuriyue shook her head and said, "This mausoleum suddenly appeared. It is so strange. If there is no danger, I don't believe it. Could it be that the small lightning dragons can't find anything when they go over?" Qin Yun said with frown, "Can we only go over by ourselves?" "Xiaoyan, do you have any puppets?" Yang Shuryu asked. "It's best if they have flesh and blood." In the past, Qin Yun had captured some wraiths and heavenly monsters that had turned into humans. Some of them were tortured to death, while others were frozen for research. He took out an evil spirit and said, "This guy's soul is gone, but I can't control it." Qin Yun took out the Gemini treasure mirror and imprinted a set of totems on the head of the evil ghost. This way, he can easily control the evil ghost. The monster looked like a middle-aged man. After being controlled by Qin Yun, he immediately sat up. Yang Shuryu injected some power into the evil ghost and heavenly monster's body and said, "I want this guy to look like he's full of life." "Big Sister Yang, you are very meticulous," Qin Yun said. "The evil ghosts and heavenly monsters he released have been frozen. They look like corpses." After Yang Shuriyue injected her power into the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters, the evil ghosts and heavenly monsters seemed to come to life. Their eyes were bright and their bodies were full of life. "Enough," Yang Shuryu said. Qin Yun controlled the evil ghost and heavenly monster to leave the heaven-leaping shuttle. They landed on the grassland and then walked towards a small hill. Long Tianji said, "My small lightning dragon is condensed from energy. It doesn't have any signs of life, so it can't cause any commotion." Yang Shuryu nodded and said, "Indeed, if we want to find out about the killing formation or lure out other things, we must use living beings. Moreover, their life aura must be vigorous enough. Quickly look, there is movement." Qin Yun looked at the grassland below from inside the heaven-leaping shuttle. Under his control, the evil ghost and heavenly monster slowly walked on the grassland. After the evil ghost and heavenly monster approached the small hill, the grassland within several hundred meters of the small hill suddenly turned black. This kind of black color is very evil. However, Qin Yun and Yang Shuryu did not sense any evil aura on the heaven-leaping shuttle. Yang Shuryu said, "The entire small hill is inside a barrier. That evil power has not rushed out because it has been sealed by the barrier. A very strange barrier. The small lightning dragon can enter and exit as it pleases, but the evil power cannot come out." Qin Yun said in amazement, "There is evil power inside the evil ghost and heavenly monster's body. After entering, it won't be easy to come out." Yang Shuryu said. Qin Yun suddenly became worried because there might be evil power hidden inside the evil ghost and heavenly monster's body. He is worried that after entering, he won't be able to come out. After entering the barrier, the evil ghost and heavenly monster can no longer come out. They are blocked by the barrier. What is even more frightening is that as the evil ghost and heavenly monster stepped on the pitch-black grassland, their body suddenly began to shrink bit by bit. The power of the evil ghost and heavenly monster is being devoured. The flowers and grass around the small hill have now turned black and are crazily dancing, as if they are in a carnival. It looks very evil and scary. Furthermore, the dragon head statue on the top of the small hill, the dragon eyes have also turned red. The entire dragon head looks like it is grinning sinisterly. It looks very creepy. The evil ghost and heavenly monster did not even get close to the small hill and fell to the ground. Only dried up skin and bones remain. Their vitality has been completely devoured. At this time, the flowers and grass also quickly wrapped around the evil ghost and heavenly monster and started devouring their body. It is indeed very dangerous. Yang Shiryu shook her head. Xiao Yun, the things sealed in the buried heaven land are very powerful. The dragon pearl is sealed in the small hill. It can devour the outside world even through the small hill. Fortunately, the entire small hill is inside a strange barrier. It seems like we just happen to be near this tomb, but this tomb suddenly hid itself and wants to attack us? Qin Yun said in horror. If we didn't know and continued forward, we might have stepped into a trap. Previously, because they saw that the position of the three suns did not move, they came out to take a look and did not continue forward. Have you thought of a way to enter the tomb? No wonder Yin Long said that it is very difficult to obtain the things inside. Yang Shiryu asked, in the buried heaven land, there must be many such tombs. The things sealed inside are either living beings or other things. Even if it is a weapon, after such a long time, the weapon spirit will certainly give birth to a spirit in its own consciousness. If there is enough energy, it might even be able to cultivate a fleshly body. Qin Yin has read about it in some ancient books. After some powerful weapons are lost, they can cultivate into a human. I wonder what kind of dragon that Divine Universe Dragon Pearl belongs to. Qin Yin said, it is so evil. It looks even more frightening than the Divine Universe Evil Dragon's Dragon Pearl. Qin Yin has the Divine Universe Evil Dragon's Dragon Pearl, and the Divine Universe Evil Dragon is already very evil. There is actually a dragon that is even more evil than the Divine Universe Evil Dragon. That's why the Dragon Pearl is sealed here. It seems like that Dragon Pearl is very difficult to destroy. Yang Shiryu said. Qin Yun is also thinking of a way to pass through the barrier and enter safely. It shouldn't be difficult to pass through the barrier. Qin Yun said, I just don't know what other powerful things are inside. Yang Shiryu took out a Divine Universe sword, tied up her beautiful black hair, and changed into a light blue armor. She said, Xiao Yun, we're going to take the risk. Qin Yun took out Lu Shuangji's heavenly armor and handed it to Yang Shiryu. He said, Big Sister Yang, you wear this. You wear it. Yang Shiryu shook her head. I'm fine. Qin Yun spoke and pulled off the blue armor on Yang Shiryu's body. Yang Shiryu had no other choice. She smiled sweetly and took off the light blue armor on her body. She is only wearing thin underwear inside. Of course, those clothes are engraved with runes and have the effect of healing and recovery. After Yang Shiryu changed into the golden heavenly armor, Qin Yun felt a lot more at ease. In terms of defense, Qin Yun is not afraid. After all, he has absorbed the Divine Universe purple energy to cultivate, and he also has the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. They left the heaven-leaping shuttle and put it away. Then, they walked towards a small hill. The flowers and plants within a radius of several hundred meters of the small hill are still black. When Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu stepped into the black area, it was equivalent to entering the barrier. After they entered, they immediately exited the barrier and confirmed that they could come out. Only then did they feel relieved and continue moving forward. After they walked for dozens of meters, they suddenly sensed a very strong power surging out from the ground, sucking their bodies in. A large number of black flowers and plants suddenly became very large and malevolent, wrapping around Qin Yun and Yang Shiryu's legs. Qin Yun let out a muffled groan. Through the absolute Yang power, he activated the overwhelming righteous martial spirit and released a very powerful, overwhelming righteous energy. A white energy wave surged and immediately ignited all the black flowers and plants in the surroundings, igniting them with pure white flames. And the devouring power that surged up also immediately retracted. Let's continue walking. Yang Shiryu said. She tightly gripped the Divine Universe sword in her hand. They walked towards a small hill and looked at the dragon headstone sculpture at the top. The dragon headstone sculpture's red eyes suddenly shot out 2 beams of light. Yang Shiryu immediately waved the Divine Universe sword in her hand and released a very strong energy wave, scattering the 2 beams of light. Xiao Yun, use the cannon to blast that dragon head. Yang Shiryu lightly shouted. Qin Yun took out the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and fired at the dragon headstone sculpture at the top of the small hill. The energy condensed by the nine dragons' heavenly origin formation turned into a ball of light and shot out from the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon, hitting the dragon headstone sculpture. Bang! After the dragon headstone sculpture was hit, it was enveloped by the nine-colored light and let out a trembling sound. The nine-colored light disappeared, and the dragon headstone sculpture is unexpectedly undamaged. The power of the nine dragons' heavenly origin formation. The dragon headstone sculpture actually spoke. It laughed sinisterly and said, "Great, great. I will be able to see the light of day again soon." Ha. Chapter 1943. Hearing the words, Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon, Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei looked at each other in amazement. It sounds like it is a powerful existence on par with Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon. What is your relationship with Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon? Qin Yun asked. He is my brother. You bastard, you are dead for sure. Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon shouted. Qin Yun took out the Nine Heavens Dragon Lion Cannon and shot at the black dragon head sculpture again. The power this time is even stronger than before. It even let out a burst of ferocious lion roar. After the black dragon head sculpture was hit, Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon suddenly roared. The small hill slightly trembled as if something is about to come out from inside. The dragon head sculpture is very hard. It is impossible to break it. It is also unknown what kind of material it is made from. Yang Shuriwei suddenly released a purple moon. The beautiful purple moon shot out rainbow energy in all directions, creating wave after wave of glowing energy. It condensed into purple lightning and attacked the dragon head sculpture. Oh! Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon immediately let out a painful cry. Yang Shuriwei's attack just now was a very strong mental attack. After the Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon suffered that golden attack, it is clearly in incomparable pain. This guy doesn't have a body, only a soul. Xiao Yun, we don't need to be afraid of him. Yang Shuriwei said. Yang Shuriwei said, let's continue forward. This guy's soul and dragon pearl are sealed inside. He can only use his evil consciousness to corrupt the energy outside. This kind of power can't harm us. Damned woman, I will eat you. Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon shouted. A black energy suddenly emerged from the ground and rushed towards Yang Shuriwei. Qin Yun's body released overwhelming righteous power to purify the black gas rushing towards him. Then he continued forward. Soon, they arrived beside the small hill. The dragon pearl is inside. How to get in is a problem. How can we get in? If we break it and that guy's soul comes out, it should be very strong, right? Qin Yun circled around the small hill to see if there is an entrance or something. Divine Cosmic Devil Dragon's black dragon head sculpture on top of the small hill looks very scary. Moreover, it is constantly roaring, but it can't do anything to Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei. This Divine Universe Devil Dragon shouldn't be very strong. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been sealed in such a small hill. Yang Shuryu said, Woman with long hair and short knowledge, don't look down on me. Back then, I, Divine Universe Demon Dragon, was the strongest Tian Fa divine beast created by the Heavenly Tao. Divine Universe Demon Dragon was my little brother. When he saw me, he had to kneel down and call me Big Brother Demon Dragon. Divine Universe Demon Dragon shouted angrily. The Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon claimed to be a very powerful Tian Fa divine beast. This Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon was indeed closely related to the Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon. You're stronger than the Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon? Why was it sealed here? Divine Cosmos Evil Dragon is not sealed. Qin Yun said with smile. Bullshit. The Divine Cosmic Evil Dragon's heart and dragon pearl have both been sealed. Only his tattered body and soul managed to escape, but he was still sealed by the Nine Sons royal family. The Divine Universe Demon Dragon snorted. Then tell me, how can I save you? Yang Shuryu asked. With your strength, you can't release me at all. Divine cosmic demon dragon sneered. You want my dragon pearl, right? Dream on. Yang Sure you said, Divine cosmic demon dragon, if we get you out, do you think we have enough strength to take away your dragon pearl? Of course not. If you really release my dragon pearl, the ones who will die will be you. Divine cosmic demon dragon laughed loudly and said, I will devour that brat, occupy his body, and then eat you. Ha ha ha. Yang Sure you said with sneer. Then quickly tell us how to open this mausoleum. Only then can we release you and let you eat us. There's no harm in telling you. If you can really release me, that would be for the best. Before I eat you, I will properly thank you. Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon said, Find a square groove on this small hill. That is the key to open the mausoleum. Yang Shiyu and Qin Yun immediately split up. After a while, Yang Shiyu suddenly shouted, Xiao Yun, I found it. Quickly come over and take a look. Qin Yun immediately flew over to Yang Shiyu's side. Yang Shiyu pointed to a stone wall on the small hill. There is indeed a square groove the size of a palm. How can we open it? Yang Shiyu said, Is there a way? When Qin Yun saw the groove, he immediately thought of his divine King Heavenly Seal. It was previously called the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal, but after fusing with his divine King Deity position, it became the Divine King Heavenly Seal. You two idiots, so what if you found it? You need a Heavenly Seal to open the mausoleum. Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon laughed loudly and said, You two hopelessly weak fellows, do you think you can take away my dragon pearl just because you know I'm here? Truly an extremely foolish creature. When Qin Yun heard the two words Heavenly Seal, he became even more certain that his divine King Heavenly Seal could open the mausoleum. Previously, Siakaru told him to find the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal, saying that it was the key to entering the immortal graveyard. He only thought that the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal could only allow him to take away the heaven-leaping shuttle. Later on, the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal transformed into the Divine King Heavenly Seal. Only now did he realize how useful the Divine King Heavenly Seal was. Qin Yun immediately took out his Divine King Heavenly Seal. His heart is filled with doubt. Why is this Heavenly Seal that can open the mausoleum in his hands? Furthermore, it can fuse with the Divine King Deity position. Just as Qin Yun was about to open it, Yang Shuriwe immediately grabbed his wrist and said in a deep voice, First set up the formation, then release the cauldron. Yang Shuriwe knew that the Divine King Heavenly Seal in Qin Yun's hand was formed from the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal. In her previous life, she was with Qin Yun and understood how powerful the Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal was. She and Qin Yun are equally puzzled. Why would Qin Yun have such a thing? Qin Yun was almost careless. He immediately released the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation and surrounded the small hill. Then he took out the Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppressing Cauldron and floated it in the air. This way, he could suppress the Dragon Pearl at any time. When he saw the square groove, he was astonished and took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal to seal it. He almost forgot to set up the formation. If he did not set up the formation, it would be troublesome if the Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon's Dragon Pearl and soul ran out. After finishing her preparations, Yang Shuriwa nodded at Qin Yun and said, Let's begin. The Divine King Heavenly Seal can now become big and small. Qin Yun controlled the Divine King Heavenly Seal to fit the palm-sized square groove and then press the seal into the groove. The groove looks very shallow, but after the Divine King Heavenly Seal is pressed in, it can be pressed very deep. You, how can you have the Heavenly Seal? The Divine Cosmic Demon Dragon suddenly cried out in alarm. His voice is filled with fear. After Qin Yun pressed the Divine King Heavenly Seal in, the entire small hill suddenly trembled. He quickly rotated the Divine King Heavenly Seal, issuing ka-ka-ka, sounds as if he has opened some mechanism. After rotating it once, Qin Yun took out the Divine King Heavenly Seal and then quickly arrived outside the 9 Dragons Heavenly Origin formation with Yang Shuriwe. The small hill suddenly turned golden and then burned with golden flames. The small hill disappeared and turned into a ball of fire. Inside the golden ball of fire, there's a large black bead. It is more than a meter tall. Who are you? Who are you? The divine cosmic demon dragon shouted and controlled the dragon pearl to crazily charge. With the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, the divine cosmic demon dragon is unable to break out. Then who do you think I am? Qinyan also wants to know who the person controlling the heavenly seal is. I don't know. I don't know. The divine cosmic demon dragon shouted. Although there is the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, the divine cosmic demon dragon's dragon pearl is very terrifying. When it collided with the barrier, it produced a series of rumbling sounds, and waves of the divine cosmic demon dragon's aura surged out. Let's go in and talk. Qin Yun controlled the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron to seal the dragon pearl inside. The surroundings quickly quietened down. The golden flames disappeared, and the originally black grassland also returned to its original appearance. The small hill that sealed the divine cosmic demon dragon pearl disappeared. It is as if the small hill never existed. Everything is very calm, as if nothing had happened. Could it be that the heavenly seal is the key to open these heavenly mausoleums? Yang Shuriwei said with a frown. I don't know. Let's leave this place first. Qin Yun shook his head, released the heaven-leaping shuttle, and said, To Heaven Creation City. Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei entered the heaven-leaping shuttle and flew in the sky. Princess Anya wants to release the Ling Tian clan. How is she going to open the Tomb City? Yang Shuriwei asked curiously. I wonder if she succeeded? I don't know. Princess Anya is also the Heaven Creation Palace Master. She must have her own way. Qin Yun said, I always feel that this buried heaven land has a lot to do with the Heaven Creation God Palace back then. The heaven-leaping shuttle flew at high speed in the sky. Qin Yun pinched Princess Anya's soul-chasing talisman and could feel the distance between them getting closer and closer. It should be night now, but the 3 suns here are always in the same position. Yang Shuriwei looked at the sky and said, They have already been flying for 4 hours. The sun still hasn't moved. Princess Anya should be nearby. Qin Yun suddenly stopped the heaven-leaping shuttle and controlled it to rotate to check the surroundings. Below them is a lush green plain, occasionally decorated with colorful flowers. It looks very calm and peaceful. Yang Shuriwei said, I don't see anything. Could it be that she is hiding? That small hill from before is the same. Could it be that I can only see it when I get close? Qin Yun said with a frown, then controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to land. Just as the heaven-leaping shuttle landed, Yang Shuriwei lightly shouted, Look up! Qin Yun and Yang Shuriwei looked up at the sky and saw a dazzling golden behemoth suddenly appear. It is the Heaven Creation City floating in the sky. Strange, why didn't I see it just now? Qin Yun immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly into the sky. However, after approaching, the Heaven Creation City suddenly disappeared. Helpless, Qin Yun could only let the heaven-leaping shuttle land again. This time, just as the heaven-leaping shuttle landed, the Heaven Creation City in the sky suddenly fell down. The huge Heaven Creation City suddenly fell down. The impact is very terrifying. Chapter 1944. Under Yang Shuriwei's timely control, the heaven-leaping shuttle teleported away. The Heaven City suddenly fell down and fiercely hit the ground, causing the earth to shake violently. The sound and aura are very shocking. Qin Yun's heart still has lingering fear. He looked at the Heaven City in the distance and said in shock, What's going on? Did something happen to the Heaven City? When the Heaven City fell, it also released a very strong barrier to protect the entire Heaven City. Even if it fell from the sky, it did not shatter. I don't know. Yang Shuriwei's expression is solemn. She shook her head. The Heaven City suddenly became like this. Something must have happened. Let's go take a look. When the heaven-leaping shuttle flew over, the Heaven City suddenly floated up and slowly rose into the sky. Let's hurry up and catch up. Qingyun shouted. The heaven-leaping shuttle is now controlled by Yang Shuriwei because she can make it teleport, which will be safer. Yang Shuriwei controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and quickly flew over. In an instant, she arrived in the sky above the Heaven City. After arriving in the sky above the Heaven City, they could see that there are many people in the city. Let's go directly to the Heaven Creation God Palace. Qingyun said. All right. Yang Shuriwei quickly flew to the sky above the Heaven Creation God Palace. In the sky above the Heaven Creation God Palace, Qingyun saw a person wearing a black robe and a mask. Is Princess Anya. Princess Anya is floating above a palace in the Heaven Creation God Palace, looking at the sky. Princess! Qingyun immediately shouted. After Princess Anya used the space-leaping shuttle, she quickly controlled a hole in the barrier to let the heaven-leaping shuttle in. Yang Shuriwei immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and arrived beside Princess Anya. After Princess Anya let the heaven-leaping shuttle in, she immediately closed the hole. What's going on? Yang Shuriwei quickly sent Princess Anya in and asked. The Heaven City is being controlled by a very strong power. We can't control the movement of the Heaven City. Princess Anya said anxiously. If this continues, we can only give up on the Heaven City. Qingyun said, the Heaven City is rising. How high is it going to fly? There's a barrier in the sky above the Heaven Burial Land. If you touch that barrier, you will be fiercely attacked by a force and then violently fall to the ground. Princess Anya said, just now was the second time. Yang Shuriwei looked up into the sky and saw that it was pitch black. There was indeed a barrier in the sky above the buried Heavenland. Furthermore, it was a pitch-black sphere that enveloped the entire buried Heavenland. How could this be? Yang Shuriwei asked. Didn't you go to save the Ling Tian clan? Where are the people from the Ling Tian clan? We did indeed help Ling Tian City remove the seal. Their Ling Tian flying city has already flown away. We were originally following behind Ling Tian Flying City, but we were suddenly controlled by a power. Princess Yi said, I am using all my strength to control the Nine Dragons' Heaven Origin formation to resist that power. All of a sudden, the Heaven Creation City rose rapidly. It was still very slow before, but now it suddenly accelerated. It was obvious that it wanted to make Heaven City fall. There was a force that wanted to destroy Heaven City. I suspect that it is the enchantment in the Heaven Burial Mausoleum that is causing trouble. Originally, they wanted to deal with the Ling Tian Flying City like this, but they locked onto our Heaven Creation City. Princess Yi sighed. Looks like we can only give up on Heaven Creation City. Qingyun said, maybe not, I will go out and take a look. Be careful, Princess Yi warned. If it really doesn't work, quickly tell me. I will let the people of Heaven Creation City leave quickly. After Yang Shuriwei sent Princess Yi out, she controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle to fly high in the sky. Qingyun came outside the heaven-leaping shuttle and sensed the power controlling Heaven City. Not long after, he sensed that it is 9 very strong sun power. This power is very strong, and it is all sun divine power. Lingyun said, Xiao Yun, you'd better use the 9 Dragons' Heaven Origin formation and cooperate with the Nether Sun to devour this power. Why do I have to devour this power? Qingyun asked. Because only the Nether Sun can disturb these 9 sun divine power. It is the easiest to disturb when devouring. Lingyun said, as long as you disturb this power, Heaven City will be able to get rid of the control. All right, I will do it now. Qingyun returned to the heaven-leaping shuttle. He let Yang Shuriwei control the heaven-leaping shuttle to the bottom of Heaven City. The 9 strands of very strong sun god power were very strange. They rose from the ground and pushed the Heaven City upwards. After Qingyun arrived at the bottom, he ran outside the heaven-leaping shuttle again and absorbed and devoured the 9 sun divine power. In the process of absorption, the 9 sun divine spirit played a great role. The 9 sun divine power frantically rushed into the 9 sun divine spirit, causing Qin Yun's entire body to be wrapped in a 9-colored light ball. Qin Yun, who is inside the light ball, also felt very stuffy. After all, it is 9 sun divine power gathered together. In the process of Qin Yun frantically devouring, Heaven City suddenly stopped rising and flew away in one direction. Success! Ling Yun shouted, Heaven City is fine, it is safe. However, Qin Yun's 9 sun divine spirit is still absorbing the 9 sun divine power. Not good, now it is my turn to be trapped. Qin Yun shouted in alarm. Yin is there any way to get rid of it? Don't be afraid, continue absorbing. Ling Yun said, the 9 sun divine power here is very strange. The 9 sun divine spirit seems to like it very much. It doesn't matter if you absorb more. The 9 pearl bracelet appeared on Qin Yun's wrist. The 9 sun divine spirit was originally 9 black pearls, but now they have turned white and are still shining. The 9 sun divine spirit absorbed a lot of 9 colored sun divine power. Qin Yun can feel wave after wave of sun divine power rushing over. In just a moment, Qin Yun, who is floating in the air, is in a huge 9-colored whirlpool. In the middle of the whirlpool, Qin Yun is drawing a large amount of sun divine power into the 9 sun divine spirit. The heaven leaping shuttle is not far away. Yang Shiyu is also very worried inside the shuttle. She quickly shouted, Xiao Yun, what's wrong with you? I'm fine for the time being. Qin Yun said, don't worry. Qin Yun only knows that his 9 sun divine spirit likes the 9 kinds of sun divine power here very much and is frantically devouring them. Not long after, Princess Anya suddenly flew over. Heaven City is already safe, so she came to take a look. Qin Yun, how are you now? When Princess Anya came over, she saw a huge 9-colored whirlpool wrapping around Qin Yun. In the middle of the whirlpool is a 9-colored light ball. She can't see Qin Yun at all, but she can sense him inside. I'm fine for the time being. Wait for me in the heaven leaping shuttle, Qin Yun said. Although Qin Yun said that he is fine, Yang Shiyu and Princess Anya are extremely worried. After Princess Anya entered the heaven leaping shuttle, she looked at the huge 9-colored light vortex and said with self-blame, if I had known earlier, I wouldn't have saved Ling Tian City. I have caused Qin Yun a lot of trouble. Xiao Yun will be fine. Yang Shiyu walked over, held Princess Anya's hand, and said softly. Although she said that, she is very worried about Qin Yun. Princess Anya shook her head and said, that power can trap the entire Heaven City. It was Qin Yun who let Heaven City escape. They definitely won't let Qin Yun go. We have to do something. Just as Princess Anya was about to go out, a white mist suddenly floated over. Yang Shiyu shouted in pleasant surprise, Cloud Dragon is here. After the white cloud came over, it turned into a huge white cloud dragon. The huge white cloud dragon also began to revolve around the huge 9-colored whirlpool. Senior, will Xiao Yun be all right? Yang Shiyu shouted. Nothing will happen. Don't worry too much. Moreover, this might be a good thing for him. Yin Long can also see that Qin Yun has a very strong thing on his body that can attract a large amount of sun divine power. Qin Yun's body did not devour the 9 sun divine power, and he can't withstand that much. It is the 9 sun divine spirit that is devouring it. This is the first time Qin Yun knows that the 9 sun divine spirit is so thirsty for energy, as if it has been hungry for a long time. Ling Yun said, Xiao Yun, the 9 sun divine spirit might evolve. It would be great if it could evolve into some special ability, just like the Sun Soul. After Qin Yun heard this, he secretly looked forward to it. The 9 sun divine spirit is formed from 9 sun souls. The Sun Soul can transform into divine weapons or some powerful beasts. And the divine spirit should also have some ability or something. Now that the 9 sun divine spirit has absorbed 9 kinds of sun divine power, it must be replenishing itself. Senior, what are you doing? Qin Yun asked. I'm here to eat something. If you can't eat, I'll help you eat. Yin Long chuckled. Senior Yin Long, you can't eat for free. I got this for you. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, You greedy brat. You already have so many good things in your hands. Why are you still thinking of fishing? Yun Long scolded with a smile. Of course, the more good things there are, the better. Even if I don't need it, I'll still be very happy to collect it. Qin Yun said with a smile. Senior Yun Long, this Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is a sun-sacred land. Other than the heaven-burying mausoleum, is there any other good place? No, Yun Long immediately replied. When Qin Yun saw Yun Long reply so decisively, he knew that the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range must be hiding something. Kid, just absorb this energy in peace. Yun Long knew that Qin Yun is not someone who is easy to deal with. His answer just now had already exposed something. All right, Qin Yun did not pursue Yun Long further. However, he secretly remembered this matter. In the future, when he was about to leave the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, he would go find Yun Long and ask him about it. Just as Qin Yun and Yun Long were absorbing the condensed Nine-Sun divine power, a black shadow appeared in the distance. Qin Yun is in the center of the whirlpool of nine-colored light. He can't see the huge black shadow, but he can feel a fluctuation approaching. What's coming? Qin Yun asked. Chapter 1945. The Flying Ling Tian Flying City was very big. Although Qin Yun could not see it, he could feel from the Qi wave that it was bigger than the Heaven Creation City. Inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, Yang Shiryu looked at the huge black shadow in the distance and said worriedly, "What exactly is the Ling Tian Flying City doing here?" "I'll go talk to them," Princess Anya said. Yang Shiryu nodded and let her go. Princess Anya floated in the air, blocking in front of the Ling Tian Flying City. The Ling Tian Flying City suddenly stopped. "Heaven Creation Palace Master, why are you blocking our way?" An old man asked coldly from within the city. "My friend is cultivating in front. Please don't disturb him," Princess Anya said. "Cultivate? Who is your friend?" For him to be able to draw upon such a large amount of nine-yang divine power, it means that he has the nine-yang divine vein in his body. This is an extraordinary fellow, the old man said. "I'm not sure about his situation. He's cultivating, and I don't want to be disturbed. Your Ling Tian clan is not an ungrateful person. Can you give me some face?" Since Princess Anya had already said this, it was not good for the Ling Tian clan to continue flying over. The old man's voice replied, "Of course we are not ungrateful people. We will leave immediately." "Oh right, Heaven Creation Palace Master. Let me remind you that a large number of people from the Heavenly Law Divine Realm have already entered this buried heaven land." "Thank you for the reminder." Princess Anya nodded. The huge Black Ling Tian Flying City suddenly started to spin, changing its direction and flying away. After the Ling Tian Flying City left, Qin Yun heaved a sigh of relief and said, "This Ling Tian clan is quite reasonable. These fellows can be unreasonable at times. If not for the fact that the Heaven Creation Palace Master is their benefactor, they would not have left so easily." Yin Long said. Princess Anya returned to the Heaven Leaping Shuttle. She and Yang Shiryu knew that Qin Yun was absorbing a very strong nine-yang divine power and could not be disturbed. "Qin Yun possesses the nine-yang divine vein. Is this true?" Princess Anya asked. She did not know that this was actually the power of the nine-yang divine spirit. Although Yang Shiryu knew, she did not reveal it to Princess Anya. She only shook her head and said, "I'm not too sure." Although the Ling Tian clan did not interfere, Qin Yun was even more worried. This was because his nine-yang divine spirit was not full yet. If the heavenly guards of the Heavenly Law Divine Realm came over, he could only stop. "Senior, if the heavenly guards of the Natural Law Divine Realm were to come, would you be able to block them?" Qin Yun asked. "How can I block those heavenly guards? I'm just a cloud. I can't stop them." The Cloud Dragon said. Are you really that weak?" Qin Yun did not believe Yun Long's words. "Really? Besides, this is the buried heaven land, which belongs to another space. Right now, it is only temporarily overlapping with the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range." Yin Long said, "If the heavenly guards come, just run. Qin Yun said disdainfully, Senior Yun Long, you are the supreme ruler of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. How can you be so weak? Yun Long sighed. I am that weak. I also want to become stronger. Isn't devouring the 9 Yang divine power to become stronger now? All right, you asked me to lure a large number of heavenly guards over. How do you plan on killing them? Asked Qin Yun. If a large number of heavenly guards died here, the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range would be able to absorb the energy. In any case, I have a way to kill them, but it will take some time. If the heavenly guards suddenly come, I won't be able to deal with them. Yin Long said, so don't think too highly of me. Don't expect me to turn the tide. Qin Yun had thought that Yun Long was a godly teammate, but he never expected that he was a pig teammate who ran away when he encountered an enemy. Looks like there's really no other way. Qin Yun only hoped that his 9 Yang divine spirit could eat its fill. He really wanted to see what would happen after the 9 Yang divine spirit absorbed enough energy. Yin Long said, Qin Yun, after you angered the natural law divine realm, not only did they send out the Great Sky Armored Guard Army, they also sent out other powerful things. How powerful is it? Qin Yun asked hurriedly. The heavenly guards were all created by the pool of creation and can be considered to be of a lower level. In battle, this kind of guy can die at will. No matter how many people die, the natural law divine realm will not feel any heartache. Yun Long laughed. Other than the heavenly guards, there are even higher level things in the natural law divine realm. Qin Yun said in shock, could it be a large number of sky law divine beasts? Yun Long chuckled and said, it's not a sky law divine beast. If there really was a large number of sky law divine beasts, that would be great. Even in the natural law divine realm, there aren't many sky law divine beasts. Those powerful fellows from the natural law divine realm are about to arrive. Why are you still so happy? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I can't be happy at all. The natural law divine realm has sent out some powerful figures this time. Yun Long said, in the natural law divine realm, they are called Heaven Men. Heaven Man? What's the difference between them and the heavenly guards? Qin Yun asked in bewilderment, stronger than the heavenly guards, or what? They are not heavenly guards from the pool of creation. The heavenly man is much stronger than the heavenly guards in all aspects. The most terrifying thing is still their equipment. Yin Long seemed to be very excited as he laughed excitedly. If there are more of these heavenly men and they all die in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, then it would be easy for me. Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. This Yin Long was looking forward to the natural law divine realm sending more powerful fellows. It would definitely cause the buried heavenland to become even more chaotic. Qin Yun, don't worry. With your strength, it won't be a problem for you to deal with a heaven man. The buried heavenland of the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range has yet to become a saint-level space, so there won't be any sacred heaven man coming here. Yun Long laughed. Don't be afraid. You are definitely very strong here. If that's the case, then I can rest assured. Qin Yun was also afraid that a large number of sacred transformation realm experts would come over. If he had strong equipment, he wouldn't be able to defeat them. Many of the fellows from the Ling Tian clan have surpassed the 9th stage of the Immortal Emperor realm. After that, Ling Tian Flying City broke the seal. Those who surpassed the cultivation level were all sent to the Sacred Desolate or Divine Desolate. I saw this with my own eyes. Yun Long said, if you don't believe me, you can ask the Heaven Creation Palace Master. The buried Heavenland contained a very large amount of 9 Yang divine power. The 9 Yang divine power was originally used to deal with the Heaven Creation City, but it was inadvertently grabbed by Qin Yun with the 9 Yang divine spirit and then crazily devoured. That was why the current situation happened. Qin Yun was in the 9-color vortex, and even Yun Long was crazily absorbing the 9 Yang divine power. 2 hours had passed. Yun Long suddenly cursed in a low voice. The fellows from the heavenly law divine realm are here. These fellows are really fast. Senior, weren't you very happy before? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, who the hell knew that they would come so quickly? Yun Long sighed. This is a rare opportunity. Are we going to waste it like this? Qin Yun snorted and released the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation. The 9 dragon-marked heavenly sabers floated in the surroundings, surrounding the gigantic whirlpool and protecting it as it continued to devour. The 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation absorbs the 9 yang divine power. Its defense must be very strong. Yun Long suddenly laughed. It can hold on for a period of time. The heaven-leaping shuttle also entered the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation and hid. The gigantic 9-color vortex floated in the air. The beautiful clouds of 9 colors gathered together, and the gigantic arms slowly rotated. From the ground, it was both shocking and magnificent. The 9 dragon-marked heavenly sabers were also wrapped up by the 9-color divine power and turned into 9 huge pillars, protecting the gigantic 9-colored vortex. In the distance, a large group of people suddenly flew over. That group of people were all wearing golden armor and holding golden swords in their hands. When Yang Shi Yu saw those people from the heaven-leaping shuttle, she said in a deep voice, "Those fellows, they are wearing heavenly armor and wielding divine universe swords. They look very strong." Lu Shuangji and the others who descended from the upper realms to the heaven-suppressing sect all had divine universe swords in their hands. Lu Shuangji also had a set of heavenly armor, which was worn by Yang Shi Yu. Yun Long said somewhat excitedly, "Look carefully at these fellows from the natural law divine realm. The heavenly armors on their bodies are different from the heavenly armor guards. There were more than 1,000 people from the natural law divine realm. At the very front were people with relatively normal physiques, and at the back were those enormous heavenly armor guards. Although the heavenly armor on the 100 or so people at the front was also golden, it looked like a type of golden crystal. Furthermore, there was a faint purplish red flowing under the golden color. Furthermore, only these 100 or so people had divine universe swords in their hands. The other heavenly armor guards didn't have any. Those guys at the very front are heaven men." Yin Long said. "Just how strong are they?" Yang Shi Yu asked. She had fought with the people from the upper realms before and understood the power of the divine universe sword. She believed that if she had the same powerful equipment, defeating these people wouldn't be a problem. "I don't know. In short, they aren't as easy to deal with as the heavenly armor guards." Yun Long snorted. "Those fellows from the Ling Tian clan are nearby, but they haven't appeared." Princess and Yi cursed in a low voice. "Those bastards from the Ling Tian clan on the surface, they're giving me face, but when they see me in trouble, they don't plan to help me. The Ling Tian clan is just like that. But don't mind it too much. It's right for you to let them out. You can let them fight to the death with the heavenly realm of the natural law divine realm." Yin Long chuckled. Among the group of people flying at the very front, someone suddenly threw out a divine universe sword and pierced it towards the gigantic 9-color vortex. When the divine universe sword struck the barrier released by the 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation, it exploded with a loud sound, and waves of air surged in all directions. The divine universe sword was also sent flying. The 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation was very strong, which made Yun Long and Qin Yun feel a lot more at ease. At the very least, they could continue absorbing the 9 yang divine power in peace. 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation? Qin Yun, you really do have a very strong 9 dragons' heavenly origin formation in your hands. Someone shouted. The divine cosmos evil dragon was originally from the heavenly law divine realm. The divine cosmos evil dragon had devoured the immortal desolate great emperor, so it understood Qin Yun very well. As a result, the people of the heavenly law divine realm had a certain understanding of Qin Yun. Chapter 1946. Qin Yun and the heaven-leaping shuttle were at the center of the ball of light in the middle of the 9-color vortex. The energy there was the strongest, so it was able to hide them very well. The group of people from the heavenly law divine realm only suspected that there was a 9 dragons heavenly origin formation. They did not confirm that Qin Yun was here. especially after they saw Yun Long. They also believed that it was impossible for Yun Long to be with Qin Yun, because in the eyes of the heavenly law divine realm, Yun Long was on their side. Yun Long, what's going on? This naturally formed barrier is too strong, and that kind of power is very similar to the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation. The middle-aged man in the lead said, the Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation is closely related to the power of the Nine Suns. What I'm absorbing right now is the Nine Yang God power, and it is being released by the buried heaven land. I suspect that there's a very strong Nine Dragons' heavenly origin formation in the buried heaven land. Yun Long said, that's why such a powerful natural barrier was born. The buried heaven land is indeed very mysterious. It stores a large amount of Nine Yang God power. We suspect that there are 9 large divine universe amethysts in the buried heaven land, and they form a Nine Dragons heavenly origin formation to maintain the operation of the buried heaven land. The man also nodded. Looks like my guess is right. Friends, do you have any clues? Yun Long asked. There are no clues at the moment. Our main target this time is Qin Yun. I just didn't expect that the Ling Tian clan would actually come out. So we also have to destroy the Ling Tian clan. The middle-aged man said, Ling Tian clan? This clan seems to be your strong enemy. Yun Long said in surprise. Yes, these guys can actually break the seal and escape. The heaven-reaching man snorted. All right, let's take this opportunity to completely exterminate the Ling Tian clan. Yun Long laughed. After so many years, your heavenly law divine realm should have found a way to kill the Ling Tian clan. This time, even if we start a war with them, we will still be able to kill them. The man laughed. Our heavenly law divine realm is getting stronger and stronger. We can destroy many things that we were unable to destroy back then. After all, we are the incarnations of the heavenly Tao. Friends, I wish you success. Yun Long said. Yun Long, don't worry. When you completely leave the Nine Yang heavenly realm and build your own heavenly domain, the heavenly Tao will definitely take care of you. At that time, our heavenly law divine realm will also send a large number of heavenly guards and heaven realm to help you take care of this new world. The man said, I can't thank you enough. Yun Long happily said with a smile. The Celestial waved his hand and then led the team to chase after the remnants of Flying Heaven City's aura. After the heavenly guards left, Qin Yun felt completely at ease. Senior Cloud Dragon, they're giving you face. Qin Yun said, they know that I'm not to be trifled with. If they piss me off, those fellows from a natural law divine realm can forget about getting anything from the graveyard of heaven. Yun Long laughed. I can tell that the natural law divine realm really wants to enslave you. Princess Dark Knight said, well, the hands of the heavenly law divine realm extend to many heavenly regions. They are only unable to do anything in the Nine Yang heavenly realm, so they can only secretly cause trouble. Yun Long said. Qin Yun said with a smile, Senior Yun Long, is it because the heavenly law divine realm is concerned about your tiny cloud dragon heavenly realm that you're hiding something good here? Of course not. They just think that I have great potential and can develop into a very powerful heavenly domain. That's why they want to interfere. Yun Long immediately denied it with a smile. Qin Yun was very sure that other than the graveyard of heaven, there was something else in the Cloud Dragon Mountain range that the heavenly law divine realm was concerned about. Thinking about it carefully, he knew that the Cloud Dragon Mountain range was not simple. There must be another reason why the graveyard chose the Cloud Dragon Mountain range. This immediately piqued Qin Yun's curiosity. He knew that Yun Long would not say anything. If he wanted to investigate, he didn't know where to start. And the most important thing right now was to enter the main heavenly mausoleum first. Senior Yun Long, is the Cloud Dragon Mountain range still expanding? Yang Shiyu, who was inside the Heaven Leaping Shuttle, asked. Previously, it devoured that ocean. Qin Yun said with a smile, Big Sister Yang, the Cloud Dragon Mountain range has already become the Cloud Dragon Heavenly Domain. It will definitely continue to expand. It can't be considered a heavenly domain. The heavenly domain is a very complicated structure. This fart-sized place of mine can only be considered a small world. Let's call it the Cloud Dragon Realm. Yun Long said with a smile. Under the heavenly Tao, there are many existences like me. Really? Why have I never seen it before? Qin Yun said with a frown. In the immortal desolate, there's an inscription world. I wonder if it's similar to this. If we continue to rely on the Nine Suns' heavenly domain, then it can only be considered a desolate domain. The spatial rifts in the Nine Desolate will still need to rely on the Nine Suns' heavenly domain to operate. Yun Long said, and my Cloud Dragon Realm will be able to completely break away from the Nine Suns' heavenly domain in the future and operate independently. Princess and Yi said, if you want to be independent, you need to have your own sun and moon. The stars are common. The stars belong to the heavens, which means that no matter what heavenly domain, no matter what world, they're unable to escape from this heavens. The sun and moon are also a type of star. I need to draw a suitable sun and moon from the countless stars. Yin Long said. Qin Yin thought about it carefully and suddenly sighed with emotion. Creating a world is really interesting. It sounds very great, and when the time comes, you will be able to control the operation of this world. It took me a very long time to reach this step today. Yin Long said, if the Cloud Dragon Realm is formed, I can rely on the living beings of the Cloud Dragon Realm, rely on the Cloud Dragon Realm to obtain the power of the heavenly Tao and become even stronger. It sounds really inconceivable. Qin Yun said, if there are many living beings in my Cloud Dragon Realm, when these living beings cultivate, they will more or less be able to absorb some heavenly energy. I will be able to extract a bit of it and use it to strengthen myself. The Cloud Dragon said, then in the Nine Suns' heavenly domain, is there a ruler like you? Qin Yun suddenly asked curiously. The Nine Suns' heavenly domain originally had one, but it disappeared later on, so the Nine Suns' heavenly domain is in a lot of chaos. As for what the situation is, I'm not very clear. Yin Long said, of course, it's impossible for a huge world like the Nine Suns' heavenly domain to have only one ruler. It should be a large group of people who created the Nine Suns' heavenly domain together and used it to cultivate. Qin Yun thought of the Heaven Creation Divine Palace. Back then, they created the Nine Suns' heavenly domain on the basis of the Nine Suns. Yun Long and Qin Yun are absorbing the Nine Sun divine power as if it is endless. They can't finish absorbing it no matter how much they crazily absorb it. Yun Long also knows that Qin Yun has something on him that can crazily devour the Nine Sun divine power. Because with Qin Yun's body, it is impossible for him to contain so much Nine Sun divine power. When will it end? Yang Shuriwei asked. I don't know. Don't look at how we are crazily absorbing the Nine Sun divine power. This bit of Nine Sun divine power is nothing to buried heaven land. Yin Long said, wait until buried heaven land realizes that the Nine Sun divine power is being lost. Then they will fill the hole. Qin Yin said, so you're saying that I accidentally opened a hole? That's right. You're really lucky. Of course, my luck is also pretty good. I bumped into it. Yin Long said with a smile. The Nine Sun divine power continued to gush out. It was mainly drawn out by the Nine Sun divine spirit. After all, it is the Nine Sun divine spirit. A large amount of pure Nine Sun divine power can easily be drawn out by the Nine Sun divine spirit. Time passed in a flash, and 4 days passed. Qin Yin suddenly sensed that his Nine Sun divine spirit is no longer absorbing. After stopping absorbing the Nine Sun divine power, the nine-colored whirlpool is no longer spinning. The Nine Sun divine spirit stopped drawing out the Nine Sun divine power, which means that it has absorbed enough. The Nine Sun divine spirit on Qin Yun's wrist has already turned into a white nine-pearl bracelet and then hid within Qin Yun's flesh. Qin Yun did not sense any change in the Nine Sun divine spirit, but he knew that it is definitely evolving. It stopped. Yun Long also sensed that the Nine Sun divine power is no longer gushing out. he said with a smile. Very good. This is an unexpected harvest. I have devoured quite a bit. I'll be leaving first, Qin Yun said, and entered the heaven-leaping shuttle. And in the sky, there is still a large expanse of 9-colored light. It is the remnant 9-sun divine power that Yun Long gathered and devoured. After Qin Yun entered the heaven-leaping shuttle, a pair of huge red eyes suddenly appeared in the blue sky. That pair of eyes were completely red. They looked cold and merciless, filled with might, and even carried a very terrifying pressure. Qin Yun looked at the pair of eyes from inside the heaven-leaping shuttle and was immediately scared speechless. Yang Shiryu and Princess Anya were also shocked by the terrifying pressure and tightly held onto Qin Yun's hands. What is this? After Qin Yun recovered from his shock, he cried out, Did it just appear? Senior Yun Long, did you see it? Yang Shiryu shouted anxiously. In the blue sky, a pair of red eyes suddenly appeared. Furthermore, it carried an incomparably terrifying pressure. The eyes looked like a human's eyes, but they also looked like a dragon's eyes. Each eye was very big, bigger than the 3 suns combined. The red eyeballs were suffused with a deep purple color. The bloodshot veins in the eyes were like purplish red, lightning flashing. This seems to be the heavenly eye. Yin Long was also stunned for a moment before he shouted in alarm. Quickly leave the buried heavenland first. Heavenly eye? Why did it appear? Qin Yun was extremely worried that it was caused by his 9-sun divine spirit. I don't know. In short, let's go. Yin Long shouted. Yang Shiryu immediately controlled the heaven-leaping shuttle and began to travel through space. In an instant, the heaven-leaping shuttle left the area where the buried heavenland was located. In the sky above the Cloud Dragon mountain range, the pair of huge purplish red eyes were still hanging there. As long as one looked up, it would feel as if they were being stared at, causing a great deal of mental pressure. I can still see it, Qin Yun said with a frown. What the hell is going on? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.